Every time I look in your eyes, baby, I can feel your energy. It's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I.
No.
No.
Anyone else?
Hi.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into RFDL for week 7, day 1 of league play. I'm Ecliptic Fades. As you can see, we have a noisy crowd here. We have Fire Streak, we have Docky, and this week, surprise, surprise, we have Aerolax joining us once again.
Surprise.
How are you guys doing today?
I'm feeling amazing because we're about to take these dubs today for Gentle Paws. Let's go, Paws. Hashtag Paws up in the chat. Let's go.
Cap.
Okay.
We got some.
Wow.
We do have some excellent games to talk about this week and to watch and enjoy for all you guys. It is week 7, going into league play. We've only got 5 weeks left until the end of league play and the start of the end of the first half of league play and the start of the mid-season tournament, which is going to be extremely exciting. For everybody. I'm sure that that's going to be a great time to be had by everyone. But we also have some matches last week that we do want to talk about. We're just going to show a couple of the goal replays from Sunday while we talk about some of those matches. Obviously, you can see right here, going to start off with Cloud9 and Dignipaws. Obviously, some of our matches last week were really good. A couple of them, I think only one of them went to Game 5, though, which was... Can somebody remind me which match that was? Because I can't remember.
It was one of them.
I think that's true.
Clan BDS? BBG?
Yes.
Yeah, that's BBG's game.
Yeah.
Sounds about right, yeah.
So, that one was a great one. All of our other ones were still pretty close. Most of them going to 4. We did have a couple of blowouts, but I definitely think that the quality of matches last week were pretty good. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'd say so for sure because despite Black Bunny and Fox Clan being the only one to go to Game 5, at least in my opinion, that one didn't feel the most tense out of all of them, just because those games typically had I think the lowest goal differential any of those games had was 2 goals for goal differential. So like the series like Cloud9 Dignipaws and Twisted Tails Lumosity just felt slightly more back and forth just because those had really tight goal differentials across the board. So I mean, despite that, we had lots of good games, lots of good matchups, and yeah, some really good stuff happening. So well played to all the teams last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riveting commentary as always by Docky and Aerolax.
Wow, okay.
I guess we'll, I mean, I'm sure Docky doesn't want to really talk about last week too much as he did not
Yeah, it
necessarily
was
have the best
fine.
week, but I think that he's confident looking at his matchup coming up this week. Hopefully, they're in high spirits over on the OwOptic side. We'll have to see them a little bit later. But yeah, as we're looking at right now, the Black Bunny and Fox Clan series, very heavily on Black Bunny's side in terms of goals scored. As you can see, that Brazil that happened at the end, but also Fox Clan not showing too many weaknesses and some really incredible goals as well coming out from all of the members, especially Cosmo, who really showed up in that game number 4. And unfortunately for them, they couldn't take the series, but that leaves them, I believe, 3-3 on the season, so they're not in a bad spot at all. As are quite a few teams going into this week number 7. Who are you guys looking for to pop off this week in particular?
I guess I'll go first. I think we talked about Cosmo, who's been playing really well, is going to be stepping down for Abyss. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's going to be the biggest one for me. I think that'll be interesting to see how they fit into that, but we've seen them play well before, especially as like that kind of support glue that holds together that kind of offensive heavy team, or like an offensive heavy team, I should say. So that'll be interesting for me to see how that works out. I have a feeling that it's going to work out well, but I'll be watching that one for sure.
Arrow?
I mean, I might be a bit biased, but the team that I'm looking to pop off is Luminosity.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
What?
Biased
I'm-
casting confirmed.
Maybe a little bit. No, but like we're going up against BDS, and we all have seen the tear that they've been on recently, and I'm a little concerned, safe to say. But I'm hoping that we can take that, because I feel like with the with the absolute tear that BDS has been on, if we're able to take them down, then I have a ton of confidence in our team.
I mean, for sure, Aerolax. BDS looking like the I-Buy fursuits from last season, except in Season 1, making those roster changes pretty early on in the season, but after a couple of weeks, and then really popping off since then. But the team that I'm going to be keeping an eye on is, surprisingly enough, Cloud9. Just because they haven't really seemed to be like the most consistent team out there, but when they're clicking, they are clicking really well. So I want to see them, after a win last week, I want to be able to see them maybe get a little bit of momentum behind them, get a little bit of a wind in their sails, as they say, and potentially be able to pick up another series this week, because I think that would be good for the team in the long run, especially since it might be a tough series for them next week, potentially, so...
Yeah, I have to agree. I think if I'm looking for a team to pop off this week, I'm looking at Protogen Rebellion. They're playing against Persian 1 tomorrow. It's going to be a very interesting matchup. I definitely think that Protogen could take that one. I think it could go either way. Both teams are very good. Protogen has not been getting the results they've been wanting, though, and I'm sure that they're going to try and do their best. However, they are going to be playing with a little bit of a land buff, as sources have told me that I believe Heavenly and Static are going to... They're probably going to be playing in the same vicinity, as they are both together at a con this week. And speaking of which, I do want to let everybody know in advance for tomorrow, for RFDL for Sunday, we are going to be starting an hour later than usual. We are going to be starting the pre-show at 4 p.m. EST instead of the normal 3. That is because our 2 live matches that will be happening later on in the evening have to be pushed back a little bit, because not just Protogen Rebellion, but also some players from Luminosity are going to be at a convention, and they're going to be getting back last minute. So the teams have all agreed to push them back just a little bit, and we will have the hour pushback for Sunday. So we will still be streaming tomorrow, but don't be surprised when we are not live at our usual time. But that one's going to be interesting. It definitely makes me think Lumimosity is going to have a bit of a harder time with their match. Seeing that I think Avid is literally going to be getting home like last minute, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of time to practice. Not sure what Protogen's game plan is when it comes to all that, but hopefully they have something good set in place so they can prepare for their match. I bet Heavenly and Static have been practicing all week. I know I saw them playing split screen together the other week, or the other day, so I'm sure the chemistry is there. But yeah, let's talk about the matches, or let's actually talk about the leaderboard before we talk about the matches of the week. And you can see it right here. Obviously, X3 Tactics up in the top still. Perfect record on the season so far. Persian 1 right beneath them. Black Bunny Gaming underneath them. And then BDS in 4th. Those 4 spots are going to be the most important coming up on these next 5 weeks, as those 4 spots are going to get a bye in the first round of the mid-season tournament. Meanwhile, if we look at the bottom 4 right now, it is going to be Dignipaws, Gentle Paws, Twisted Tails, and Protogen Rebellion. Not too much margin in gain differential, though, so we're expecting some of these teams to probably move up the leaderboard this week if possible. And then you've got everybody in the middle. Lumimosity, Fox Clan, OwOptic, and Cloud9, all at that 3-3 mark. But you can see everybody has different goal differential there. So game differential is going to be a very important factor for these teams to try and move up into the top 4 here in these next couple of weeks. So I'm very excited to see what these teams can pull out for us in this week 7, guys.
Yeah, I am as well.
And
I mean, this is getting. Oh,
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's getting to that point in the season where you're starting to kind of see where these teams are settling early season. So there's a fairly sizable difference between the top 3 and the bottom 3. So there's everyone else in the middle, though, still super close to each other. Everyone's still in the same mix, and this is going to be a big week for a lot of these teams because, if you're finding yourself in those bottom few spots, it's going to be, if you lose, it's going to be hard to catch up to those teams in the top few spots, especially by the time mid-season comes around. So it's a big week, and that's going to leave these teams really hungry to make a statement this week.
Yeah, and that being said, speaking of catching up, it has finally happened to, with week number 6, X3 Tactics being 6-0. Even if they were to lose a match right now, they would not go out of first place because they are at 6-0, and the best that any team can get right now is going to be 5-2. So they have guaranteed their first place spot right now. I think if they win a couple more games, I think if they go 7-0, maybe 8-0, they guarantee a top 4 spot for mid-season. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I haven't done all the math on it, but I mean, my goodness, that's going to be that's very good for X3 Tactics. They're off to a fabulous start, but we're going to have to see if any teams can take them down at this point. And speaking of which, we do have a team that is going to be playing against them today. And let's take a look at the schedule to see what our matchups for the week are going to be. You good, Docky?
It's a doubleheader?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Fire never gave me the right file, I don't think. So ignore the Fox Clan of OwOptic Gaming.
Did.
I don't remember seeing it. So
I did it during the stream last week or the last Wednesday.
I don't remember seeing it. Oh, I see it now. Well, you know what, guys? This is the best thing about RFDL is that we have NA production. And in the flick of a switch, you can already see the change. So it is fine. We have 6 exciting matchups this week. We have Lumosity Big Dragon Squad, as we talked about previously. OwOptic versus Twisted Tails will be the final match of today. X3 versus Dignipaws, which is our second match of today. We have Black Bunny Gaming versus Gentle Paws, which is our first match of today. And then tomorrow, we also have Persian 1 versus Protogen Rebellion, and our featured matchup, Fox Clan versus Claude 9. So we do have a great lineup for you guys this week. Very close games. I am hoping to see some game 5s. But yeah, guys, I'm going to start this prediction for the chat. And I'd like to ask you guys what you guys think about our first matchup, which is going to be Gentle Paws BBG.
I mean, just to get the bias out of the way,
Yeah.
Gentle Paws,
Yeah.
kind of a goated team. I mean, Pictus goated, Strawberry goated. Let's go. I have faith in my team. We're feeling good. We've been playing pretty well this week, so we're hoping to pull together a good series here. So
Yeah, I don't remember what I predicted for this. I think if I had to guess, I probably predicted BBG. I guess
BBG.
we'll go. Yeah. What did I say?
BDS.
Oh, BDS. Oh,
Supposed to be
BDS.
BDS.
wait, what?
No?
I thought it-
BDS? No, it's
No,
BBG.
I thought you guys were playing
Wait,
BDS.
what?
I thought you guys were playing BDS.
I'm confused.
I've been gaslit in real time.
Wow, it's happened right here. Docky, you
I don't know what's going on
you
anymore.
predicted BBG in 5.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate as to how I think these teams are skilled. I think that it will be very close. But I think it'll be entertaining. So I think that BBG has the advantage currently in my mind, but I'm excited to see how that one goes.
Yeah, I am too. I think that both these teams are going to be great. Obviously, giving Aerolax some time to recover so he knows what match is
What did
actually
I-
being played.
What did I predict?
You predicted Black Bunny in 5. So
Okay.
you and Docky are
Okay.
kind of on the same wavelength there. I predicted Gentle Paws in 4 because I think that Pictus is looking better and better each week, and I think the rotations are finally starting to clean up for Gentle Paws. And I think that they have what it takes to take down this Black Bunny Gaming squad, but it's all going to be about the execution for me. They just need to be able to execute on their plays, make sure that they're hitting their shots accurately, and I think that they'll find victory, but we'll have to see if that happens. Arrow, what do you think?
What do I think? No.
Good question.
If I recall correctly, which, as already has been proven, I'm probably not thinking correctly. I think my thinking behind that choice was just kind of seeing the synergy that BBG had last week. Kind of just, it felt like they were on a completely other level. And even though Gentle Paws has had plenty of time to figure out their chemistry, I feel like they're still not at the level that BBG is at. Add to that the fact that BBG is very, very good at putting on pressure. I feel that BBG is going to take that.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Well, let's talk about both the teams going into this one. Let's start off with good old Black Bunny Gaming. You guys know him, y'all love him, or you hate him, depending on your thoughts on the team. It's Vezix, it's Hammer, and it's Kiki. And Kiki actually really showed up in their first match for BBG last week, and I expected them to do the same today. What are you guys' thoughts?
I feel like I grouped both of my answers into one.
Well,
I
okay,
mean,
not
they-
much to say, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, on our side, we think highly of this team. They're a really solid team. I mean, Hammer, he does hammer things, and it's definitely something we're going to try to limit as much as possible, but that's never an easy task. We have a high level of respect for this team. They're number 3 in the league for a reason. And we're hoping to pull an upset, but it's definitely not an easy team to do that against. So, I mean, we'll do our best. We'll see how we can do. But yeah.
Yeah. And of course, obviously, I gotta mention it. Vezix, #1 in demos. Just the pressure that this team can put on is absolutely terrifying. But the thing that I'm very, very intrigued about as we get into the team cards for Paws, we have Vezix as #1 in demos, but we have Strawberry in the league as #2 in demos. Which...
Wonder why it says third.
Wait, what?
What?
Are they no, keep going. Good.
I'm confused.
What?
Let me pull it up.
You're confusing me.
I think Strawberry second. Yeah.
Yeah, Strawberry second.
Or it might be tied for second.
Tied for second, yeah.
It is tied, yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, either way, just like... I feel like just the mashup of those two on opposite sides of the field is just gonna... It's just gonna become a demo fest, honestly, and... As a player of Rule No on last season, I am all for that.
I'd have to agree. I definitely think having the #1 versus the #2 in demos right now is a very exciting matchup. I will say, in the last couple of weeks, Vezix, however, has been hitting very low stat numbers in terms of demos. In his last series, I think last week, if my stats are right, he only had 4 demos in that entire series. So Strawberry has a good chance to catch up to Vezix in this game, or Paws in general just has, the ability to deny him a lot of demos, just bringing him closer and closer down the leaderboard to the rest of the players. So if he doesn't have a good week this week on the demo side, we could definitely be seeing a switch up in who the #1 demo player is. However, we do know that Black Money Gaming is not just all about demos. They've got Kiki now, they've got Hammer. That team is going to probably be, in my opinion, just focused more on just getting those accurate shots into the back of the net than getting the disruptive plays now. I think it worked, the demos were working better when Sam was on the team, as they kind of needed that disruption, but with Kiki being as accurate as they are, and obviously having Hammer on the team, I don't think you need the demo plays as much as you used to, which is a interesting change for the team. So,
I mean, definitely interesting change, but this is a whole lot of Black Bunny talk during the Paws segment. Disappointed bias? Is the bias showing? No, I joke, but yeah. I mean, Vezix definitely has been quieter on the demo side of things. I know we're definitely going to be looking out for it. I told my players literally just the other day, if you don't see Vezix in front of you, he's probably behind you trying to demo you. So that's kind of the approach we're taking to it. We're definitely going to be pretty aware of it, and yeah, we're going to try to limit that as much as we possibly can, because we don't want him disrupting our defensive rotations too much. And I do know if you demo Vezix a couple of times, he can kind of start going for them a bit more aggressively, and we hope to take advantage of it when that happens. Leaking a little bit of the game plan here. How dare I do such things? But yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll definitely be on the lookout for it. But yeah, Paws, I have faith in the team, so we'll need to see if we're able to pull off a good victory here.
Well, as I said earlier, when it comes to the Paws squad, because we have not talked about them too much, I think that you guys look decent enough, but I think it's all going to come down to execution here. You know that Hammer's going to be able to get saves. You know Kiki and Vezix are a pretty decent defensive line as well. It's really going to just come up to that accuracy and just making sure that you're doing as much as you can to counter this Black Bunny squad. What do you guys think is the key to success for Paws here? For Docky and Arrow?
Score more goals.
Uh,
Why?
obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. I said this before for Dignipaws, and I'll continue to say this until I think that they make those adjustments. But as it is, the rotations are very reactive. I think they've had a lot of trouble because they've had their GC3 change quite a bit, where they're not really playing it cohesively. They're just kind of their GC3 is kind of going to change. I think the way that they play because they don't have like a rotation that's set. So if they're able to change that, I think maybe have the Strawberry and Fire play around. I think some of the high rank player, whether it's Pictus or not, on that team, I think they'll be a lot more solid. We've seen flashes of it. They've been able to do it every once in a while, and that's when they've been at their best. But if they're able to lock that in, I think they'll have a very good chance of dealing with the offensive onslaught that is BBG.
Yeah, I've got to completely agree with that. Just being able to kind of just shift those rotations to stop being so reactive and start like, I guess, kind of just playing their own game really, as opposed to just trying to play into the other team's game. Once Dignipaws is able to do that, they're going to just immediately become a stellar team.
Yeah, I have to agree. Well, everybody, with that being said, we have already let you guys know our predictions for this match. I have predicted Dignipaws in 4. Meanwhile, Docky and Arrow have predicted Black Bunny Gaming in 5. And the prediction on the chat is done. So I am happy to say we are all good to go. And let's get started with Week 7, Day 1 of RFDL. We're going to start our first match off here. It's going to be Dignipaws versus Black Bunny Gaming to start us off today. And we're going to see which of these teams can reign supreme. Aralax and Docky, take it away.
Thank you. As we get into game number 1 of Week 7, Dignipaws versus Black Bunny Gaming. We've already talked about kind of the strategies behind these two. We're going to have to see if either of these teams can employ them. As Black Bunny Gaming already going to have a bit of pressure on the Dignipaws side, but a bit of a breakaway already. Pictus going to be up here. Goes for the bump on Hammer and is able to get it. And already Pictus putting in a goal for Dignipaws so early on in the game.
This is such a good play here. I think Hammer's a little bit slow to jump there, and Pictus, I think, realized that immediately. Goes for the bump, and so you want to see out of Pictus. Confidence in the air leads to a quick goal. We'll give Dignipaws an early lead. And again, I think this goes back to what we were talking about. Pictus having the confidence, I think, to play the style that Pictus wants to play. Not having, I think, to adjust too much, which I think puts him a bit of a disadvantage. So if we're seeing this early from Pictus, I think that's a good sign for this Dignipaws team. See, though, if they're able to continue this. As BBG, I'm sure, will be hoping to quickly equalize.
Indeed they will, and they might do it here as Hammer gets a good flick, hit fire, putting it over to the corner, and a beat by Pictus. This is going to be very dangerous. Hammer has to get by quick, and is not able to. And Pictus already just showing dominance in this game, putting in 2 goals for Dignipaws within just the first minute.
Oh, man.
This is already an insane performance from him.
Yeah, and that's the confidence. I said in the first goal, and it's seemingly continuing to be true, is Pictus just looking incredibly confident early on in game 1. Gotta be a good sign for Dignipaws to see, I think, your higher rank player who has the mechanics and has the potential to be the commander of the pace of this series, already starting to have so much confidence. Just sometimes, when he is confident, a lot of these plays just come naturally to him. One almost goes in for BBG. Again, as I said before, I'm sure BBG is hunting for an equalizer, or at least to cut this lead in half. They might do it here, but unfortunately for them, no one's there to take the shot. Not too much out of position. This is still dangerous. We'll have to see if they're able to score, but Dignipaws looking good on defense and on offense. Definitely a different team than we saw last week.
Indeed they are, as we're seeing just once again so much defense from Dignipaws, being able to just survive the onslaught that Black Bunny Gaming is putting on their net. And they're gonna have to do so again here as Hammer goes for the redirect, gets a read off of the save. And it's still gonna be dangerous here. Kiki with a 50 is going to go over to the side. And a bit of a dangerous touch from Pictus, but that's just going to go over right to the other corner. And we're seeing a lot of pressure from Black Bunny Gaming, but no real threatening shots coming out. However, as I say that, Hammer going to put that one just off the bar. And Dignipaws now going to have a breakaway as Pictus going to come off the ceiling. Doesn't have the flip, waited just that tiny bit too long. Kiki putting it around. Vezix starting up with the demos here. As Hammer going to try and put this one mid. Isn't quite able to. Pictus once again just doing so well to just shut down any threatening shot that Black Bunny Gaming might have, and putting on some of his own. But Kiki starting to find that speed as well and is able to cut that one off. 2 minutes left. Black Bunny Gaming still down by 2, but they're getting so much pressure, and I feel it's only a matter of time before the Dignipaws defense is going to crack.
You might be right. BG seems to be doing what they do best, and that they're very good at taking a lot of these possessions and making them awkward, making it into an offensive possession. We've seen them do this all season. It's led to a lot of goals in their favor, but this Dignipaws team just looks way too confident. Does not seem to phase them. So they're very comfortable sitting in their own defense. They're quick to challenge and not really make this too dangerous. And we're already seeing that confidence, I think, is affecting BBG, as both players, I think, a little bit nervous, maybe miscommunication, not sure who's going to go for this. Strawberry has all the time in the world to get to this shot, and Hammer jumps a little bit too late. Vezix just no boost, and 3-0 Dignipaws with 129. That's seeming like a hard lead to come over.
Yeah, and I completely agree. That looked like just a miscommunication. It feels like either Vezix or Hammer could have challenged, but neither of them did. But that one was very interesting from the side of Black Bunny Gaming, but they're definitely going to take that one. Right off the kickoff, Hammer trying to shoot that one, and Vezix just kind of popping that one up, and then going for the bump on Fire. Possibly not quite going as planned, but it still works out for Black Bunny Gaming, and they're definitely going to take that. As with 80 seconds left, they have now found a little bit, as Kiki nearly getting the pre-flip there. Vezix gonna try and take this one into the center. Strawberry keeping that one out, and Fire trying for the touch, but Pictus able to bail out his teammate. With a minute left, Dignipaws still having their 2-goal lead, but Black Bunny Gaming starting to find a little bit of momentum, as that one's going to go off the post, but Pictus covering so very well. And Fire with the double as well, that's going to give them so much more space to work with. It's 50 seconds on the clock. A demo on Hammer. That's going to put on so much pressure, as Pictus going to just put that one in. And 4-1 for Dignipaws, and it's already looking like they're going to take game 1.
Yeah, and this just adds to that confidence. It's such a good shot to get there with 44 seconds left. I mean, you're already up 3. Well, you're up 3 now. You already have 2, and getting that one in, I think, is just going to give them a lot of momentum going into game number 2. And if you're BBG, that's not exactly what you want. You're kind of, at this point, hoping to maybe get one more, get the momentum swinging in your way a little bit. We cut down some of these momentum picks. We saw a demo come out there on Hammer from Strawberry. That obviously seemed to have some sort of effect, and leaving Vezix alone on the backboard. It's a tough read to make for anyone. We'll have to see, though, if BBG is able to not let this get to them. We likely go into a game 2. We will, as I don't think this lead is I think this is an unsurmountable lead from Dignipaws. Pictus, though, looking to be incredibly confident. I don't think I've seen him play this confident in a long time.
Yeah, and it's honestly terrifying to watch right now. It just feels like Pictus is currently just owning this pitch. And Dignipaws most definitely going to be thankful for that, but we're going to have to see if they can keep that up, as I know Black Bunny Gaming in particular is very good at adapting to their mistakes, seeing just what they're doing wrong and just figuring out how to counter a team, especially if they're just getting absolutely just destroyed here. As 5-0, that one's going to go to Dignipaws, and we're just going to have to see if Black Bunny Gaming can just figure out what was going on in that match and possibly try and find a way to shut down Pictus, because Pictus is going crazy right now.
Yeah, they definitely had the offense from BBG. It was definitely there. Just everything they were doing just did not seem to phase Dignipaws at all. So maybe find a way to make them more awkward. Maybe break into their defense and cut through some of that defensive rotations that they've been having. So right now, as it stands, BBG's been putting a lot of shots on net, but it's not able to connect very well. They had the one kickoff goal Other than that, though, it's not able to put anything in the back of the net. And when you're letting up as many goals as they let up in game 1 here, it's a very difficult position to put yourself in. So obviously that's something they'll keep in mind, I think, going into game 2. Hopefully they'll be able to adjust to it. But right now, though, this is the Pictus show.
Indeed it is. And that just, once again, just absolutely insane performance from Pictus there. I believe it was, 4 goals in that game out of 5. That is an absolutely insane performance.
Yeah, definitely agree. We'll have to see, though, going into game 2 if he's able to keep that up. But I'm sure if he's confident, then he's going to be trying to.
Oh yeah, and after that performance, you can't help but be confident, honestly. But yeah, we'll just have to see if Black Bunny Gaming is just able to somehow break down that confidence, or if it's just going to become the Pictus show. As Kiki gonna put one right off the bar, and we're gonna try and keep this one in a dangerous spot. Black Bunny Gaming once again starting off with a bit of pressure, but Dignipaws with the bounce back. Is Fire gonna slam one nearly home? Hammer going to put that one over to the corner. But we're seeing Black Bunny Gaming looking a little bit hesitant on defense here. And that might be what's getting to them, as that hesitation is just allowing Dignipaws to just do whatever they want with the ball. And that's allowing for these breakaway moments, as Pictus once again forcing Hammer to get a save. And another save as well. Strawberry putting a shot on net.
Oh.
But a minute in, and looking very, very different from the last game, as opposed to the 2 goals that we had in the first minute of last game. We currently have 0 for either team, and it looks like Black Bunny Gaming might be starting to bounce back. But as I say that, the double fake from Pictus there, both Vezix and Hammer jumping for that. That is, oh, that's gotta hurt.
One thing I have noticed that I think is starting to hurt this VBG team as we move forward into game 2 here is there's seemingly a little bit of a lack in the boost control. I'm not sure if it's Dignipaws stealing the boost or if they're not communicating to each other very well. And I've seen a lot of players on 0 boost consistently, which I think is hurting their ability to continuously take shots. But as we see a chance there, but unfortunately, due to that lack of boost, just no one's able to take another shot on the defense. That it's a little bit more awkward than they should have been. We'll have to see, though, if this is something that they're able to overcome. As it stands, they've done a lot better job of keeping Pictus at bay. I'm not sure if that's an active change that they've made, or if Pictus's hot streak's cooling off a little bit.
Oh, no way, what a save.
Oh my goodness.
No, that is actually insane. That shot from Hammer was already insane, but then Pictus just able to actually be ready for that. That's absolutely cracked. And it's going to allow Dignipaws just so much space here. As Vezix coming off the ceiling. That one's going to go under Kiki, but just off the bar.
Oh.
But we're starting to see a little bit of like misses from Dignipaws here, as Fire going to go into the ball there. That's going to allow for even more pressure for Black Bunny Gaming, but Dignipaws just getting those touches where they need the most on defense. As Pictus going to try and take this one out. Vezix getting a touch over to Hammer. Going to try for the sidewall, isn't quite able to get it, but Kiki going to be there, but just isn't able to get quite the right touch. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining, still 0-0. As I say that, Hammer going to put a shot on net, Pictus able to save it. It's not out of it yet, and there it is. Hammer finally able to put one through, breaking just that dry spell of goals that we had. And Black Bunny Gaming finally having the lead in this series.
Yeah, unfortunate. There's 2 people in net, but both of them in a little bit too awkward of a position to be able to make an actual save there. Fire went a little bit wide in that backboard. Fortunately, was not able to get to the ball in time. It's quite a bit of time, though. We did see them put in a lot of goals in a little amount of time last game. But for Dignipaws, I'm sure that 1 minute 40 seconds on the clock is not phasing them too much. I'm sure they will try to go for a ball, as Fire just not enough boost. I think tried to go for a pad. And obviously not able to turn back to the ball in time, as maybe a double attempt comes out, but Hammer will have that one away quite easily. And yeah, Black Bunny seemingly having adjusted, I think, to this Dignipaws offense that we saw in game 1 is they have limited them to 0 goals, which is a massive change up from the last game. We'll have to see, though, if they're able to continue to keep this team completely scoreless in the game 2. But you have to think, coming out of that game 1 where they scored, what, 6 or 5?
Yeah, 5.
You have to think that that's maybe weighing on their minds a little bit, but quite a feat, though, from this Luigi team to keep that team 0 goals.
And that's exactly what I was saying. Black Bunny Gaming is just so good at just adapting to what's going wrong. As we have an own goal from Strawberry, that is so so unfortunate.
Don't worry, Fire.
But-
I'm not going to say it this time.
Oh my god. No, I'm just gonna forget that ever happened. No, but yeah, but as I was saying, Black Bunny Gaming just very, very good at just figuring out what's going wrong and able to adapt to it very quickly. And that kind of just puts any team that they're up against just kind of at a disadvantage, because Black Bunny Gaming just always has that, I guess, wild card in play where they can just completely switch up how they're playing to go directly against how the other team is playing. And it looks like it's working very, very well for them, as we've gone from, I believe, 5-1 in the first game now to 0-2 in favor of Black Bunny Gaming. That's another one almost going to be there, but that one is going to spell game for Black Bunny Gaming, and they have tied up the series.
Yeah, and what a way to do it. I mean, absolutely ridiculous change of momentum there, as you had to think that they were going to score at least 1 coming out of that 5-goal game in game 1, but Black Bunny holding them to 0 game 2. They have to feel good about that one, and you have to think for momentum's sake and for confidence, having scored 0 goals going into game 3 might weigh on your mind, and having held the team that just scored 5 on you to 0 might weigh heavily on your mind the other way. So we'll have to see if both teams are able to either take that momentum going forward or not let it get to them.
Yeah, and that's going to be very, very difficult to let that not get to them, because going from being so dominant to not even getting a single goal, that definitely has to hurt. But knowing Dignipaws, they're in it to have fun.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the mentality you need, especially when there's just such a big momentum shift, because if you're able to just push that thought aside and just remember that you're just here to have fun, it makes coming back so much easier. And it also has the added benefit of, even if you don't come back, hey, you still had fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's entirely my mentality as well, and I 100% agree. I think it makes it so much easier to not let the prior games get to you if you just view every game as a game where you're playing Rocket League. And there were games you played before, there are games you're going to keep playing afterwards, and as far as you're concerned, this is another 5 minutes of Rocket League you're going to be playing, so you're able to think of it that way. That's the way you win, especially in like we talked about before, in these long seasons. That's really the best way to get through these and not get burnt out. It'll be really difficult if you start thinking about how many games you played and everything you've done. We'll see, though. If Dignipaws is able to do that. I'm sure they will. Or at least I'm sure they'll try. We're already starting to see, immediately, in Game 3, a lot more pressure from Dignipaws. We did not see this that much in Game 2. So clearly, they already are kind of refocused themselves back on the offense, and we'll see if they're able to score off of it.
It's definitely getting very, very close. Oh, Pictus just an unfortunate touch there, trying to rotate out. But yeah, it kind of looks like it looks like the Dignipaws. Oh, what a dunk! But jeez, that's nice. But,
Oh my.
Oh, man. But as I was saying, like it kind of feels like Dignipaws has kind of shifted their rotations a little bit, where they're now adapting in such a way where they have a player always back to just be able to cover if Black Bunny Gaming gets a breakaway. Because like we saw in that play right there, Pictus was just so far back, but as soon as that ball popped out, if he wasn't there, that would have been very favorable for Black Bunny Gaming, but because he was there, it was able to just completely shift the momentum the other way, and they scored off of it as well. And it looks like they might be adapting just as Black Bunny Gaming adapted to them in Game 2. That's definitely going to be terrifying for Black Bunny Gaming.
Yeah, and you have to think, maybe part of their mentality here is to just make sure that Pictus has an easier job, I think, on some of these solo plays. I haven't really seen a whole lot of passing plays come out of Dignipaws. A lot of their goals coming off of these solo plays, but that's seemingly working for them, so I don't think they necessarily need to change that. Seems to me that they are maybe trying to make it possible so that Pictus has those opportunities, or that there are those solo
Oh, the drop
opportunities.
down!
Fantastic pass
Oh!
comes from Kiki, and what a touch from Hammer. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Strawberry up for that, but it doesn't even matter. That is an insane read, and what a great placement from Hammer, and that will equalize us with 3:03 left. And I mean, what else can you say about that shot?
Nah, that shot's absolutely insane. Not only able to, as they almost put in another one there, not only able to get that slowdown around the defender, but also placing it on the right side so that the other defenders couldn't get back to that. That is just so very well played. And that puts Black Bunny Gaming right back into this game. We're going to have to see if they can use that momentum as they're getting a lot of pressure here. Hammer not able to get that, but Vezek's nearly there. Getting a demo on Pictus, but it's going to kind of break out of the Dignipaws defense as Kiki going to try and stay on this ball, puts it into the midfield. Vezek's going to go for the shot, but Strawberry going to be there for the save. Now following this one up, tries to get a hit, isn't quite able to follow it up too well. But Pictus going to be there, fakes the touch, but Vezek's going to be there to push this one over into the Dignipaws side as two players go for the demo on Fire. But Fire able to dodge that just in time to keep that ball out. Another demo, but a bump! And Vezek's going to put that one home. 2-1 for Black Bunny Gaming.
Man, who sacrificed themselves here? Looks like whoever picked this up might have slowed down the momentum, and with zero boost, just not able to get to that in time. And it's an unfortunate position to be in when your pick is there. Not enough boost. You lost all your momentum. The ball's just going right into your net, and just like that,
Oh, what a touch.
BBG has found themselves back into the lead. Again, this is a different Dignipaws team than we saw in Game 2. They're definitely not playing the same way they played that game. So you have to think there is definitely a high chance for them to come back into this one. It's a little bit not as much there offensively in Game 2, but they definitely seemingly more offensive heavy this game. And as I say that, Fire puts a nice read off of the wall and up so early for that one.
Oh,
That's a
great
great
read.
shot from Fire. And that equalizes with 1:33 left in the game.
Indeed it does. 90 seconds left. We're starting to get into that golden goal territory, and this game is going to be a very crucial one, as it will put whichever team wins this one on match point, which is definitely going to put a lot of pressure on the other side. We're going to have to see if Black Bunny Gaming can get it here, as that one's going to go over, and Strawberry isn't able to get the touch. And once again, we see just that combo of Hammer and Vezek's. Hammer just using all the mechs in the world. Vezek's trying to just get every single ounce of disruption, and it works so well in their favor. Black Bunny Gaming once again take the lead.
Oh, that's the worst position to be in there when you're last man in net. You got one on the ball and another chasing you for the demo. You know you got to jump early for it and just hope and pray that it's not in your net. But fortunately for Dignipaws, that one was. But still over a minute left. That's quite a bit of time, even in threes. We saw they were able to score quickly to equalize last time. I'm sure they've got it in them to do it again. But obviously, Black Bunny Gaming wants nothing to do with that. So we'll see who's able to maybe get that.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Fire's so awkward and a little bit of an over-rotate there. I think Fire was probably expecting Strawberry to get a little bit of a harder touch there. And yeah, just too far out of net. And Vezek's has that one. And 47 seconds left. Black Bunny Gaming up by 2. It might be a little bit harder to come back from.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be hard to come back from, especially after that. That's just such an unfortunate happening there. The Strawberry putting that one into the mid for Fire, but Fire was just pushed up this that little bit too much. But still 30 seconds left. Not out of it yet, as Strawberry going to put a shot on net, but Hammer recovering from the bump in time to get there. And now this is going to be very dangerous. Vezek's trying to put that one off that wall. It just isn't quite able to get that. As we come up on 20 seconds left. Dignipaws trying for the shot. Hammer once again And a fantastic save over to the corner. With 10 seconds left, that's pretty much going to be game. Black Bunny Gaming just buying as much time as possible. Vezik's going to go under, not quite able to, but that's going to be game. Black Bunny Gaming is going to be put on match point.
It was an interesting series. I think this one was a lot closer than the first two games, with one being one-sided for Dignipaws and the other one being pretty one-sided for Black Bunny. This one felt a lot closer. So I think as these games go on, these teams are adapting to each other, and we're seeing these games get closer. So I have to believe, and maybe this is just my hopium for entertaining Rocket League, but I have to believe that going into this next game, we're going to see this one be even closer. Maybe get a little overtime action.
Yeah, we shall see. And I'm hoping for that, honestly, because it just feels like Dignipaws started off with all the momentum, and then Black Bunny Gaming shifted it back in their favor, but now this game just felt so back and forth, really. But Black Bunny Gaming just coming out with the advantage right at the end. But I believe with that game, if I'm not mistaken, that puts the goal differential back to 0. Which
I think, is it 0?
I think so, because it was like 5-1
5-1,
the first
2-0.
game, then 2-0, and then this one was also a win by 2.
Okay,
So,
yeah,
I believe
yeah,
so.
you're the math one.
Yeah, baby.
The calculator
Yeah,
speaks the
fair.
truth.
Yeah, but yeah, that goal diff just kind of showing just how close these two teams are, because even though it's 2 games in favor of Black Bunny Gaming versus the 1 for Dignipaws, we're just gonna have to see if they can get the advantage here, as we're having a bit of lag here.
I think it might be fixing itself. Maybe some
I think we're good, yeah.
Discord shenanigans. I do believe we are back. All right, it seems to have fixed itself, so hopefully that's fixed for everyone else as well.
NA production.
NA production. But luckily, not a whole lot of action has happened while that was happening, so we are level, no goals, no one missed nothing. And it has actually been pretty even, as we've seen both teams have opportunities to take shots, and teams looking to play a little bit safer.
Oh, what a save.
We're having a lot of these teams rotate out of that offense very quickly, not as willing to, I think, push the issue like we saw in games 2 and 3. To see though if either team is willing to take that final punch. Dignipaws has had the offensive advantage here, I think, early on. Again, this is Black Bunny we're talking about, so even any of these counterattacks can be turned into goals so quickly, and as we see one almost show up there. Not to see though. So an opportunity might present itself here as far as not enough boost, but Pictus will jump over to take that goal, and 3:33 left. Dignipaws up 1. That's a good sign for them.
Indeed it is, but I'm kind of just seeing once again a sign from Dignipaws that I've seen before, where it just feels like sometimes they're playing just that little bit too slow, as we saw with Fire there, an open net, but just wasn't really in a position to take that shot as fast as they needed to. And luckily Pictus was there to take that shot, but waiting just a couple seconds more might have made that goal not go in. And I feel like Dignipaws just that's kind of their big thing that they need to figure out, is just figuring out that speed, really, because it feels like Black Bunny Gaming is really taking advantage of that. And if they're not able to ramp up the speed, Dignipaws is definitely going to be in a lot of danger. We're kind of seeing that now as they're on the defense, and Hammer from that pass from Vezix is going to slot that one home and tie up the game once again.
Yeah, I have to agree with what you're saying there about the speed. I think that both Strawberry and Fire might be looking to make the ball a little bit more comfortable, kind of take touches that I think they feel more confidence in getting control over. But I think the Black Bunny team, I think, is noticing that. I think some of that patience and hesitation to take a full confident touch on the ball, and they're absolutely pushing the issue and rushing them. Luckily, though, for Dignipaws, they've played well regardless of that. I think they've done a good job of making some of those touches into offense, but this game does remain tied. We'll see if they're able to maybe pick it up a little bit. We've seen Strawberry and Pictus, I think, be the leaders of some of these offensive pushes. Hoping to see Fire take a little bit more in the offense there. Kind of get some of those passing plays going that we know they're so good at doing. I know that Fire and Strawberry have that chemistry. Just haven't quite seen that as much this series. I'm sure it will present itself in time. 2 minutes left, though. Seemingly no one having the advantage. This ball has been in the midfield what feels like the last 2 minutes. We'll have to see, though, who takes the full advantage.
We shall have to see. But one thing that I'm kind of noticing, and I might just be numb to it because I'm used to it from Vezix, but I'm not really seeing too many demos from Vezix or really from anyone. Like, if I'd have to place a bet right now, I'd say the demo leader right now is actually Pictus. Because it just feels like he's putting on so much pressure on this Black Bunny Gaming side and getting quite a few demos here. As Fire gonna put that one mid, nearly getting a pass to Strawberry there. Coming up on a minute remaining, still tied here, and if Black Bunny Gaming is able to get a goal here, that might just be the end of the series. Whereas if Dignipaws is able to, they're gonna most likely force a game 5. So both teams very eager for this goal as we see 1 minute remaining. Come up, Kiki gonna try for the shot. It's gonna go off to the corner. Vezic's gonna be able to follow that, and that's gonna be very dangerous. Pictus gets a touch, but Hammer's still gonna be there, but gets bumped, and that's going to allow Strawberry to be there, clear that one out. Now Fire passing that one down to Pictus. Kiki getting a touch, and that one's just going to be off to the side. And there's just so many passes coming out from Dignipaws, and that's what we need to see from them as 30 seconds remaining. And we're just seeing pressure just falling back and forth from both of these teams.
Yeah, and I have to agree, but you have to feel that so much of this pressure looking so dangerous for Black Bunny as they've had a lot of quite scary opportunities. Of course, right now this might present itself to be one as Strawberry's back in net with 0 boost, and oh my goodness, maybe a miscommunication there as it looks like they might have been showing for a pinch. That one clangs itself off of the post, and we go into overtime.
Oh man, that is so terrifying as we're actually seeing an AFK on the side of Black Bunny Gaming. That's very unfortunate. And we're going to have to see how that affects them here. It looks like it's just going to be Hammer and Vezix for a little bit here. As we actually have a disconnect as well. Kiki losing connection there, and that's going to be so very unfortunate. We're going to have to see if Black Bunny Gaming can hold on in this game. As we see Hammer trying to make a push here. Already seeing just a bit more defensive, which is going to be how they have to play. And a fantastic save. But that one's going to be dangerous as well.
No.
And Vezix with the save. But so much pressure coming out from Dignipaws. Just most definitely willing to take advantage of this situation. As Pictus going to go for a demo. Didn't quite able to get it, but Strawberry is going to be there. And Dignipaws is able to force a game 5.
Yeah, it's a... Oh, man.
And we're getting news in the chat that Hammer is saying that Kiki's PC actually crashed. And that's going to be very unfortunate. We'll have to see if they can get that back on, or if BBG is going to be down a player going into game 5.
Yeah, and you have to think that maybe BBG would have been able to extend that a little bit longer. Miscommunication there. There was a 2v3, so it is unfortunate, but one touch, I think, from Vezix there, I think kept them on defense, I think, a little bit longer than they would have wanted to be. It did end up being a save, but it did keep the ball on their own side. But again, this is one of those opportunities. I don't think we have these very often where we have a win-win for both teams. As if you're Dignipaws, you're going to a game 5. You get to play one more. You're not out in 4. It's got to feel good. And if you're Black Bunny, you have to disconnect. So losing that one kind of doesn't feel real to you. So you get to come out of that, not feeling too bad about it. So both teams, I'm sure, are pretty happy with it. At least not too upset. I mean, I'm sure if you're BBG, you're a little upset that DC happened, but you don't feel like that loss was as bad, I think, with having the DC happen. So I think both teams a little bit, you know, there's not going to be too much momentum. So we'll probably see a pretty equal game 5 here. As both teams, I think, have something good to come away from that last game with.
Yeah, and just as you were saying, just like if you're just in that unfortunate situation where you lose in a 2v3, it doesn't really have as much of an effect on the mental. But it looks like Kiki is indeed back, so we're gonna have to see if Black Bunny Gaming can come back from that loss, or if Dignipaws is able to use that momentum to their favor, as Kiki already looking eager to prove their place on this team and nearly getting a goal there. As a fake comes out from Hammer, it's going to be over, and the bump from Pictus as well. Vezek's going to be there, and Black Bunny Gaming scores the first one.
Yeah, just like that. It's like so much offense that we were seeing in that game number 4, and still there in game 5. That's such an awkward position to be in. Hammer doing such a good job of making that ball in a dangerous position. As to clean that one up, and Isaac's putting BBG up 1. A lot of time left here, but for BBG in game 5, getting that early lead has to feel good for them, especially after the unfortunate circumstances they had at the end of game 4 there. We'll have to see if they're able to take this momentum forward. They seemingly are. They've done such a good job already of keeping this ball so aggressive and so dangerous for Dignipaws to deal with. Dignipaws, though, done a very good job on themselves on offense, so we'll have to see if they're able to take some control here, take some shots on that, make BBG a little bit more awkward than they've been so far.
And I also just saw in chat Hammer saying that Kiki has to play this game 5 on laptop.
Oh my.
Looks like their PC completely bit the dust. That's very unfortunate, but it looks like Black Bunny Gaming still doing fairly well, even with that slight disadvantage. As we see, oh man, massive bump coming out from Kiki. Now breakaway from Dignipaws. Looks like Black Bunny Gaming gonna have to try and turn this one around. A bit of a miss. Hammer gonna have to be there. Gets a great pinch over to the corner. Fire gonna be in an awkward spot and isn't able to get the touch. And Hammer just so quick on that ball, and just very, very good. Just being on that so quickly. Fire just not quite able to get up to that in time. And with 2 goals up, Black Bunny Gaming looking to take this game 5.
And these counterattacks for BBG have been so dangerous all series long, and we're seeing that continue to be the case as Hammer seemingly not too worried about Kiki on the laptop, as Kiki's also playing fine. Alex, I'm sure you know a thing or two about the laptop buff, and
Okay, I see how it is.
as we're seeing, it's not really affecting this BBG team too much, since they've done a very good job of basically what feels like being on offense the entirety of the game. There's not been a whole lot of opportunities here for Dignipaws. We'll have to see, though, if they're able to make a change here quickly. They'll definitely need to, as half the game is already gone. Only a team, though, that can get offensive moving quickly. We saw them score a lot of goals really quickly in the latter half. They might have an opportunity here, but this Hammer does such a good job of not letting the ball get too far away from him. Not really an opening there for Dignipaws.
And we're seeing just, once again, just the pressure just bouncing back and forth between these teams, but it's seeming like Black Bunny Gaming getting just that little bit more pressure on the side of Dignipaws, as Hammer gonna put this one mid. Fire has to get a crucial touch out, but that's just gonna go once again right into the hands of a Black Bunny Gaming squad member. And it just feels like they're always where they need to be to cover it, as that one's gonna go high. And Kiki trying to get a touch. Hammer gonna cover this. And Fire having to give a save off the crossbar there. Vezek's with another shot. And the bump, but that's gonna be so unfortunate. And Vezek's getting credited with that goal. And we saw just a great pass from Kiki, a shot from Vezek's, and then just the bump. Just that slight miscommunication on the side of Dignipaws. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, it's quite unlucky. I think a little bit too far on turns. I think Pictus was not expecting that turn, and Dignipaws, though, you got quite a bit of time. I mean, it's definitely, you see that 3-0 on the scoreboard, you're down with 1:30 left. That can be kind of daunting, but crazier things have happened. We've seen a lot of teams come back from worse, and I was crazy once, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see if Dignipaws is able to turn this around, and I'm sure they'll be willing to, or be wanting to.
Pinch. It looks like Black Bunny Gaming, with that pinch attempt, is just kind of showing a ton of confidence. And you can't really blame them, as with a minute remaining, nearly 2 goals up, but still 3. They're in a very, very good position to take this series. And we're going to have to see if they can, as Kiki going to put this one over to the corner. A bit of a pinch coming out. Pictus trying to get a crucial touch, but the dunk nearly going in. And it looks like Dignipaws just isn't able to get any breathing room on their defensive half. Black Bunny Gaming just constantly putting shot after shot, as Hammer, just a glorious shot off the sidewall. I need to see this again.
Yeah.
A great flip, and then just to follow that up as well. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's your worst nightmare. You turn back, you see all 3 BBG players on offense and only 1 Dignipaws defender in Strawberry. That's such an unfortunate position to be in, and then even more unfortunate is they didn't even need all 3 of them, as Hammer just does that all by himself. And I mean, of course he does. He's been making shots like that all season long, so it's not entirely surprising. Yeah, no, this has been well played, I think. Dignipaws just get a little bit more awkward than I think they want it to be. Just so much confidence, as we saw this momentum absolutely swing. So a lot of confidence coming out of Dignipaws early on in the series, but that confidence seemingly sucked all the way by BBG, as they seemingly have all of it now. They will take this series. I mean, well played on both teams.
Yeah, geez. They just... Honestly, both teams played so very well, but Black Bunny Gaming just able to take that unfortunate situation with Kiki's PC just saying goodbye, pretty much. and able to just take that situation and just completely switch it around. Just honestly, hats off to them. So very well played. But you also got to give props to Dignipaws as well, especially how dominant they were in that first game. But it just feels like Black Bunny was just able to just figure out what was going on and just capitalize on just those small things that just put them at such an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Dignipaws, this is an absolute win for you, right? Watch the tape back to figure out exactly what you were doing right in Game 1, and if you can watch the tape back to figure out what BDS, or BBG did, rather, did to adapt to that. So you can figure that out, and then maybe adapt to the things the teams can do to adapt to what you were doing, such as Rocket League. But a lot to learn, I think, from Dignipaws, and I think they played well enough to be able to have a lot of good things to say about the series.
Yeah, I've got to agree as well. But just once again, very well played to both teams. Just I feel like neither team can really be disappointed with how they performed. But just unfortunate loss for Dignipaws, but Black Bunny Gaming also played so very well.
Yep,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we're time to go to break. Next up, X3 Dignipaws. That'll be fun. But for now, we will see you guys shortly.
You were probably just gonna ask me.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome on back to the Rock First Draft League. I'm Ecliptic Fades, and I'm joined now by Airlax and Firestreak. And Fire, you were close. You guys looked pretty good. You guys looked a lot better than you looked in Week 6, but still cannot find that last little bit. But Gentlepaws looked really well going into week number 8.
I mean, what do you know? It's like the weekly dose of fire throwing. Let's go.
Oh
I
my
can't hit an open net. I can't hit an open net to save my
Oh, God.
life.
Yeah,
For
but what
real,
about that
though.
one shot
Fade,
you made? What about
please.
that one shot you made? You peaked. Like, come on.
Okay,
Exactly, come on.
I'm actually very
you
happy
can't
about that
say
one.
that you were
But,
throwing when you have goals like that. But no, good job to Black Money Gaming. They played really well. They
Absolutely.
did come back after that crash from Kiki, and it kind of just buffed them up a little bit. Hammer was playing angry that last match. You could tell. And Black Money will take it in 5, but it was definitely a hard match nonetheless, and I can't wait to see you guys play them again. But we have 2 more matches on the day to talk about, and we're going to just move straight into this next one. And this one could be a very interesting match. It's going to be X3 Tactics versus Dignipaws. And once again, another team going to be coming up from the league to try and stop that perfect record that X3 Tactics has. Guys, do you think Dignipaws will be the ones to pull it off?
I definitely think I think they have the potential to do so. Sylvie is a very good player, and then they have a really solid squad backing up Sylvie with Yuki and Nova, I believe. But I mean, X3 is like borderline unstoppable up to this point, so it's very tough to even like pretend like X3 isn't the favorites in this match, but I mean, Dignipaws, they have very high skill ceiling, so I think if they're able to really click this game, they definitely have the chance to pull an upset here.
Yeah, honestly, I have to agree. Like, I feel like Dignipaws is one of the teams with the best chance of taking down X3 Tactics, because kind of just thinking about how these two teams play, because we know that X3 Tactics is just so just dominant on offense and on defense and, well, everywhere. That's why they're currently 6-0. But Dignipaws, I feel they've had just a little bit of time to kind of figure out their chemistry, but I feel like Dignipaws has a very, very high skill ceiling. And if they're able to click this match, I feel like they might give X3 their first loss.
Well, we'll have to see. Let's go ahead and talk about the teams. Let's go to X3 Tactics, who is going to have the MVP for the week here in Corrupt. You can see that week 6 MVP tag right there. Also doing some pretty good stuff on the accolades. They're going to be along
pretty good?
on the team with Shy and Rude Boy Brian. And this team has been showing up. Obviously 6-0, as we said, they are quite dominant. And with Corrupt showing that MVP performance last week, we're going to have to see if he can continue it on. But I did say this during the podcast, but our MVPs have kind of been cursed recently with not having the best performances in their next week. So maybe it's a little bit of a curse on X3 Tactics. What do you guys think? Corrupt showed up last week. Do you expect the same again this week?
I mean, honestly, like, obviously, Corrupt's been very, very dominant for the entire league. And I feel like it would be a crime to think that that's not going to happen again. But again, like with that curse, you never know, it might happen. But honestly, with how X3 has been playing as a whole, both as just each individual player, but also as a team, it's going to be very, very difficult for Dignipaws.
I mean, I think there's only one thing I really need to say here. Corrupt, first in scoring, goals per game this season. Shy, second in the league in goals per game this season. Need anything else be said? They are absolutely fierce on the offensive side of the ball, and then Brian playing his role very well and just really stalling things in the midfield. So when the things on offense don't work out for them, he's giving those two higher ranked players the time that they need to get back on the defensive side of the ball. But I mean, it's the combination of Shy and Corrupt being terrifying on the offensive side of the ball, and Brian playing his role really well and just stalling on that defensive end and in the midfield makes this team just so scary to go against, and we'll need to see if they're able to keep it up this week.
Yeah, and they do have a bit of a competition here with their opponents here. We are going to talk about Dignipaws, and they've been going through some roster changes lately, and they're still trying to find their form. It's going to be Sylvie, Yuki, and Nova Fox on this roster, and last week we were starting to see them put the pieces together. With another week of practice, I'm thinking that they're probably going to be all squared away. They know what they want to do. It makes me excited to see what they're going to be able to do. And it's the best team to test yourself against because, you know, you're going up against the first place team. You're going to have to play the best Rocket League you guys have if you want to try and take them down. So we'll see what they can pull out. But I really want to focus on the Sylvie and Yuki combo because I said it when this team became a thing during week 4, but if they can come together and start doing some very team-oriented plays, I think they're going to be a very scary team to come across.
I mean, they definitely are, and I mean, I think the biggest thing I'm going to be looking for on that Dignipaws side of the ball is how is Sylvie playing today. We see Runesky can try to get Sylvie some of that flip reset juice, get those mechs flowing, and I think if Sylvie is playing confident, but is able to stay level enough to maybe not necessarily start freestyling as much, but maybe just playing confident, having those mechanics really click for them, they're going to be a scary team. But we'll need to see if they're able to flip a reset a bit like we've seen them do for the bulk of this season.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think, you know, they're going to have a tough one to go against because you know how the defense in the air from Shine Corrupt could be. I think if you're Dignipaws, obviously your game plan is very simple. You said it earlier. Shy is second in goals per game. Corrupt is first in goals per game. So just don't let them shoot on net. The less that you let them actually put balls towards that net, the less chance of them keeping those numbers consistent. And as long as you play a solid defensive line, hopefully the mechanics of Sylvie and Yuki will come through, but you cannot doubt Nova Fox as well. They have been showing up quite a few times in these last few matches, getting some good goals, so I expect to see some really good plays coming out from them too. Arrow, what do you think Dignipaws needs to do to take this match?
That's very, very difficult to say, because as I mentioned, XU Tactics, both as a team and as individual players, have just been just going off. And like my first instinct is to say just try and disrupt like their team structure as much as possible. But that's just going to allow the individual players to shine. But I really feel kind of ish what I was saying with Dignipaws for last series, sorry, is I feel like what Dignipaws really needs to do is just kind of force X3 Tactics to not play their game. And I feel like just that slight shift might be enough to give the edge to Dignipaws, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, and you can see in chat, Runesky saying if they don't win against them here, we'll rematch them in drop shot, which is where Yuki would take precedent. Yeah. So that's always a strategy. Just get the salty run back in drop shot. But Fire, what were our predictions on this matchup, if you could let us know before we start this match?
Yeah, so we have I was selecting, or no, you selected X3 in 4, while Docky selected Dignipaws in 5. Chose to do the same as you, taking X3 and 4, and Airlax choosing X3 and 5. So we're getting a bit of an X3 tactic skew on this one, but not a caster-wide sweep of it. So we'll just need to see if it ends up working out like that. But I mean, it could go either way. So we'll just need to wait and see.
Well, no full caster prediction means no caster curse, so can't blame us if somehow Dignipaws does the impossible. But let's get on to it, guys. The chat prediction is done as well, so we are ready to start over here. And let's get our second match of the day done. It's going to be X3 Tactics versus Dignipaws. Will X3 keep their perfect record, or will Dignipaws do what we deemed impossible and take their dub? Airlax and Fire, have fun with this one.
And we certainly will. For Dignipaws right here, they're going to need to shut down Corrupt. They can't give Corrupt space to both become the force of a player he has been, where he's second in assist and first in goals. And yeah, shutting down Corrupt is going to be their key. And we're seeing some early pressure from Dignipaws already. Nothing too substantial quite yet until Yuki strikes one home, putting Dignipaws up by 1 so early in this match.
And that's exactly the momentum that they want, just immediately putting the pressure on X3 Tactics, just saying, hey, you might be the leaders of the league right now, but that is going to change if Dignipaws can keep up this momentum. We're going to have to see if they can as a demo comes out. Shy going to be there for the shot, but that one's just going to be wide. Now Yuki getting a massive pinch all the way over to the X3 Tactics side. Rude Boy Brian taking his time with this. This one's going to allow Korup to try and make a play on this, but Sylvie going to be there very, very quickly. Looks like Dignipaws just once again putting on so much pressure, just keeping up that speed, making X3 Tactics play very awkwardly. We're going to have to see if they can keep that up as a minute already gone by. Dignipaws still up by 1. And X3 Tactics still having quite a lot of pressure as Nova Fox gonna have to get a save here. And they're gonna keep up that pressure. Rude Boy Brian with the shot. It's not gonna be there, but Shy is gonna be up for this. Someone from Dignipaws has to get a touch, and that's going to be Yuki. Sylvie gonna take this one out, getting it over Korup. And the pinch as well is going to put Dignipaws into a safe place, at least for now.
Yeah, and I mean, Dignipaws, they just look so confident right now as Yuki goes for a pinch, is able to get it past. But yeah, they look to be extremely confident going into this game, and they seem to be playing exactly the way they want to as Nova gets a good challenge. Yuki's gonna opt for a catch here. It pops up on him, but he's going to be able to maintain possession, getting it over to Sylvie, trying to get the dunk on Korup, and Sylvie takes it under Korup. Just getting a really nice dunk to get it past the defense there. Yuki beating 2, and that's going to leave Sylvie in a 1v1, and I mean, it's going to be tough for anybody to beat Sylvie in a 1v1, so well played by Dignipaws to put him up by 2.
And that was very, very well played from Sylvie as well, just playing that 50 so well, delaying it just enough to get that under. But we're going to have to see if X3 Tactics can come back from this, or if Dignipaws is just going to run away with this lead, as Sylvie going to be up for this, getting bumped by Nova. It allows them to get a hit over to the X3 Tactics side. And Nova going to be up, Korup with a great pre-jump, but Yuki going to try and force that one through, isn't quite able to. Now Shy with a massive pinch over to the Dignipaws side. Yuki once again playing that so very slowly. Kind of seeing that a lot from Yuki here, just trying their best to just pretty much own the field, and they're doing so very well. We're gonna have to see if X3 Tactics can possibly take advantage of that. As we see nearly 2 minutes remaining on the clock, Dignipaws still up by 2. And X3 Tactics might be getting to the point where they're gonna have to just chalk up this game as a loss and just try and figure out what Dignipaws is doing that's countering them so well.
I mean, it just looks like Dignipaws just simply out-pressuring X3. X3 seems to be on their back foot, and we've never seen them really play this hesitant, this much like they're just being outpaced. But once again, we see Sylvie with possession of the ball. Brian's going to clear it out. Yuki opting for the pass to Nova. Nova dropping it middle. No one home for it. Corrupt trying to clear it out. Sylvie is going to get the 50 over to Nova. Is Nova going to be able to turn on it? He does not get the touch he wants, so that's going to leave Yuki back, but Sylvie gets a nice cut. Shy, trying to clear it downfield, is going to end up bottling up in the corner, and Corrupt goes for a slow play, but Nova is going to be there for the save. Shy is going to go for the shot, but is unable to strike that home. It's just off target, and he's going to want that one back. That's one that he needs to hit if they're going to climb back into this game. Nova gets a good dunk, but is just going to get challenged by Shy really quickly. Yuki is able to clear that downfield for his team. Yuki trying to go over the top, unable to get it past Corrupt, and Corrupt and Shy are going to go for the pinch, which is going to rocket that one home. A great team play from X3 to put them within one.
And that is an absolutely glorious pinch as well. Just, my goodness, that is insane. And just for those of us that are curious, that is 116 kilometers per hour, 72 miles per hour pinch. That is a fantastic one to make, and such a crucial time as well, as X3 Tactics has cut that goal lead in half. They're going to be looking to take yet another one, possibly force this into overtime, as Korup going to be up for this. Tries for the bump, isn't quite able to get it. Sylvie cutting that one off. Shy going to let this one bounce up, tries to get the control, but isn't quite able to. Korup going to cut off that shot from Yuki, and a massive clear once again. Ruboy Brian putting that one mid. Shy's going to be there! And X3 has tied up the game with just 10 seconds left.
I mean, you can never count this team out. They're so good at creating plays for each other, and that's just a beautiful pass from Brian to give Shy a nice shot right there. So, well played by X3 to get themselves back tied in this game, and they're looking to force an overtime here. Sylvie is going to need to take this off of his back wall, and suddenly it just looks like the script has been reversed, and X3 seems to just once again be out pressuring. Oh! It's like, we don't want overtime. We want this to be done with. We earned that game, and they just finish it with a 0-second goal. Great play by them to close out this game and put them ahead in the series.
That is absolutely insane from Dignipaws. Just, oh my goodness. I thought we were going to see the comeback from X3, but Dignipaws just saying, no, we're taking this game whether you like it or not. And that was just such a great way to do it as well. Just the pass from Sylvie over to Yuki in the middle, and just able to just slam that one home. Just, wow, what a shot.
And I'm not sure if I'm the only one that is noticing this, but this is the first time all season X3 has started off losing the first game of a series. They've won game one every single week up to this point, but Dignipaws is able to, even if the rest of the series wasn't to go their way, they are the first one to get a game one win against X3. So this is definitely a first, and we'll need to see if they're able to keep up this momentum. But, I mean, Airlax at this point, I mean, it's still, just because of how dominant X3 has been all season long, it still almost feels like they have to be the favorites still. Dignipaws is going to need to still be playing their A game in order to take this series off of them, and we'll need to see if they're able to do it.
Yeah, I've got to completely agree, but just, it's still so very well played from both teams here. X3 was just really putting the pressure on Dignipaws, but Dignipaws just taking that 0-second goal to take that game one. That is just so very well played from them. We're gonna have to see if they can keep that up, as Sylvie using those mechs to try and get a play here. And the demo on Korup, a great play from Yuki in the pinch out. It's just gonna go to Shy, as Sylvie gonna try and read this one out. It's just gonna roll down the wall and be put in an awkward position for Dignipaws. Yuki gonna have to be up there. Now Sylvie trying to get that one. A bit of a mistouch. Korup going to be able to take this one away from the X3 Tactics net. But Nova just cutting that one off. Boy Brian cutting that off as well. We're seeing a lot of back and forth already. And that, I feel, is just going to be a showcase of what this series is going to be as a whole as we get a bump there from Korup. I feel that this series as a whole is just going to be a constant back and forth between these two teams, and I feel with how close these two teams are playing, I feel like we're already guaranteed a Game 5.
It certainly feels like that. In this game, I'm seeing both teams go for a lot of bumps. They're clearly wanting to disrupt the rotations of their opponents on both sides of the ball, which shows neither team feels safe in this series, which might be kind of the first time I've seen that out of X3, but now we see Sylvie clearing it to the corner. Yuki is going to see if that crosses net, but it does not. That's a good slow play by Shy to keep it in their corner. Korup is going for the control play, is going to try to get a reset, but doesn't really get it in an effective way. Now we see Korup trying for the shot. Nova able to clear it over to the side, keeping his team safe. Great play from the Champ 1 right there. Nova opting for a control play, but Shy is going to get the dunk as Sylvie clears it down the field. Korup is up for that and is going to be able to clear it to the side of the field. Sylvie establishing pressure, but Brian is going to do a great job and clears that all the way to the opposite side of the field. Nova, maybe not the touch he wants it to, but gets a good recovery into a 50 there, and that's a great attempt. It's not going to fall right away, but Korup is there for the follow-up. Once again, Brian being the one to get the assist there. Great attempt by Brian,
man.
and great positioning by Korup to put that home.
And that is very, very well played from just the entirety of X3 Tactics as well. Just that shot putting Dignipaws in such an awkward position, even if it doesn't go in automatically. Just the pressure that that shot put on was enough to put that in. But Sylvie, just gonna shut me up real quick. What happened here? Just off the wall, and then getting a reset with the double as well, right over Shy, and that is a glorious play. And Fire, I think you called it. I think Sylvie was indeed fed the flip reset juice.
I mean, that's probably the best thing Runesky could do for the team, because, I mean, when Sylvie has his flip reset juice, Sylvie's going to do the flip resets. So, very well played by Sylvie. That's an insane shot. As we see more bumps ringing out, which is, I mean, both teams are trying to get the opponents in awkward rotations. As we see Nova trying to recover back to net is, I mean, just ends up kind of middle of net, no
That's
effective
awkward.
pressure,
Oh,
but
save.
Sylvie is able to get the save. We see Yuki clearing it to the side over to Nova. Nova tries to clear it out. It ends up going midfield though. That's going to require Sylvie to get a 50, and that's a great dunk by Sylvie. Korup trying to control it out of his own corner, gets a little bit of an awkward touch. That's going to require Brian to get a save there. Nova trying to put that one on net. Shy clearing it to corner as Sylvie is going to bonk that middle, and Yuki is going to go for the shot, gets 50 though. Nova charging in on that one as Korup is going to try to clear that one out. We see Shy going for the air dribble, doesn't really have the boost to go for that one, as we see Yuki going for the double, runs out of boost zone. That's going to allow for the clear, and we're seeing some pressure from Dignipaws ring out, and this is starting to seem inevitable that they should put one home in the near future.
Yes, however, X3 Tactics looks like they're going to be putting on some pressure of their own, as Ruboy Brian going to miss that touch. But we're seeing a lot of pressure from X3 Tactics as well starting up. And it looks like they're playing very, very fast as well, and they're just not allowing Dignipaws to get in their way. As we see 50 seconds left on the timer. Korup going to pop this one over to the corner. Going to try and get this one mid. Yuki with a crucial touch over to the corner as well. Just keeping that one safe for Dignipaws, at least for the time being, but with a slight miss there, Yuki has to get a save. Nearly a very dangerous position for Dignipaws. As we see 30 seconds remaining. Dignipaws still on the defensive side. X3 Tactics just putting on a lot of pressure as Korup going to go for the bump, but no one from X3 Tactics going to follow that one up as Yuki gets a touch round, and that one's just going to drop right in. And Yuki, once again, with just a couple seconds, putting Dignipaws up by 1 once again, and 13 seconds left. X3 Tactics is going to have to try and find something quick, or else Dignipaws is going to be on game point. Or match point, sorry.
No, you're good, you're good. Sylvie has the air mechanics, Yuki with the ground mechanics. They're just a lethal duo, and if you are shy in that situation, you don't want to leave your lower rank back on defense with no boost. That's going to be really tough for any of the lower ranks to be able to handle. And now we're seeing a situation where X3 potentially could go on to triple match point, and that one falls. We see Dignipaws is now in triple match point. X3 is in a do or die situation. And I know I didn't expect this, but I mean, Dignipaws has the advantage at this point, and they seem to be the favorites going into game 3, which is absolutely absurd to think. You have the number 9 seed, I believe, in the league right now, taking the number 1 seed just so well right now, and this is insane. The games are so close, and well played to Dignipaws so far.
Honestly, yeah, but just, geez, Dignipaws is just putting on so much pressure on X3 Tactics, and I was honestly hesitant to say it before, so I didn't, but I wanted to say that if any team so far would be able to dethrone X3 Tactics, it would be this team, and I honestly regret not saying it, because Dignipaws is just playing out of their mind right now, and X3 Tactics definitely still keeping it close, but it feels like they're just getting shut down at pretty much any opportunity that they get.
They really do, and I mean, what can you say? Dignipaws just playing insanely well right now. I mean, imagine the first loss X3 Tactics takes is in a sweep fashion. That's what Dignipaws is going to be looking for in this game 3, and we'll need to see if they are able to pull it off. But we're seeing early advantage going to X3 in this game. They seem to have a bit of pressure to start off this game, and Dignipaws is going to need to clear this out if they want to keep the advantage. But Corrupt putting an early 1 in, and that's going to give X3 the lead that they need in this third game of the series.
And we saw Yuki there in net, but just in just enough of an awkward position to not be able to get back for that. Now X3 Tactics finally taking a lead here, as Corp gonna look for another one and is able to do so. And Fire, you might have cursed them. How dare.
I mean, X3, you can never count them out. They're a fantastic team, and this is what they bring to the table. That's a great couple of plays from them, and Dignipaws is going to need to respond fast. Nova getting a little bit of an awkward kickoff there. He's going to need to make a save right there, and he's able to do so. Corrupt establishing pressure. He might have wanted to put that on. They were a bit low on boost, but nonetheless, some more pressure coming out from X3. Sylvie trying to get the pressure right back on him, going for a pogo. Doesn't really have the boost to capitalize on it though. Corrupt clearing this to the side. Both Sylvie and Yuki in the same spot. That's a little bit of an awkward rotation from them, and they're going to need to clean those up if they want to climb their way back into this game in any sort of short manner. Nova trying to get the read, gets a little bit awkward with it, and Yuki is trying to put that one in. Unable to do so though, and the net is just wide open for Corrupt. He just dribbles it on the ground for the entire field, and I mean,
Sylvie was too close.
Yeah, Sylvie just wasn't quite ready for that, and I mean, X3 up by 3 with only a minute into this game.
Yeah, and this is kind of reminiscent of the first game, but just in the complete opposite direction, as we're seeing a lot of pressure once again on this Dignipaws side. We saw in that first game, Dignipaws going up by 2 very quickly, but then X3 Tactics was able to come back, but Dignipaws still able to take that first game. We're going to have to see if Dignipaws was taking notes, and it looks like they might have done so, as Yuki going to put in that first goal for Dignipaws in this game off that slight mistouch from Korup and not able to follow it up. And with 3 minutes 30 left, Dignipaws still has plenty of time to come back in this game.
I mean, this is looking to be a barn burner of a game, as Fades loves to say. I mean, 4 goals in a minute and a half, that's insane for threes. But now, we're seeing Yuki take a shot on net, that's a triple commit. And Sylvie's going to try to put that one home, but Nova is just in an unfortunate position after that bump and ends up saving his teammate's shot.
Oh, no!
Yuki then dunks his teammate, Dignipaws, just kind of tripping over themselves right now. This is not looking like the Dignipaws of the previous few games, as we see Sylvie trying for the mechanical play. Sylvie trying to get a shot on net, unable to do so though. Now we're seeing Nova in a 1v1 against Corrupt and is able to handle it with perfection. Sylvie trying to clear it out of his own half, gets a 50, but that's going to end up dropping low, and that's a little bit of a triple commit from Dignipaws, but they get away with it. Sylvie maintaining possession, but that's going to end up being taken from him as we see him regain it right there. Sylvie trying to pass it middle. Corrupt is going to clear that out though, which is going to leave Yuki on defense against Shy. Yuki is able to get the good catch, but is going to get dunked by Brian, and Sylvie's going to need to clear this to the side. Sylvie ends up just kind of passing it over to Shy on that clear. Shy is going to take a shot. It's going to be to the side though. Yuki chips it over Corrupt. And Nova is kind of hesitates a little bit. He wanted the dunk, but kind of lost that confidence there as he approached that ball. We see Sylvie able to get a good touch off of wall, is going to go for the 50, but that's a great demo by Yuki. Nova clears this to the side, and I mean, it's back and forth right now. The scoring has slowed down as both teams kind of settle into their rotations a bit better after that last kickoff.
We're going to have to see if Dignipaws can keep up the pressure that led to that first goal for them with 90 seconds remaining on the clock. It's definitely going to be very, very difficult for them to do so, but Yuki getting a good 50 through and a demo on Korra, but no one on Dignipaws is going to be there for that one. Sylvie having to put that one up high, not getting the best touch. It's going to go down to Yuki, trying for the bump, isn't quite able to get it. Now Sylvie trying to pass this one mid, gets a fake on Ruboy Brian. We're going to try and follow this one. A pinch with Shy, but doesn't quite go as well as they wanted it to. It's looking very awkward. A bit of a miss from Korup. Shy going to be up for this. Isn't able to get the touch, but Ruboy Brian gets the save, and Korup with the follow-up. That is a fantastic save from X3 Tactics, able to keep this goal lead in their favor. As Dignipaws still looking to try and find another one, but Korup able to keep that one out, and Ruboy Brian in the perfect position. Korup putting that shot on net, and no one from Dignipaws in back, and Korup going to put in that for the 3-goal lead for X3 Tactics.
Yeah, Dignipaws potentially getting a little bit desperate to put one in the net there after that insane save by Brian. He's a fantastic defender despite maybe being a little bit lower in rank than some of these other players, but his defense has shown up time and time again for X3, and once again, it does exactly that. Now we're seeing some more pressure from X3. Yuki's going to need to clear that out, but is unable to do so, and that's going to allow Brian to get a shot of his own on net, and now X3 is up by 4, and they just seem to want to keep putting on the pressure, maybe to get some momentum, some more momentum in their favor as they're going to be heading into a Game 4. Dignipaws is going to need to try to find an answer for all this pressure X3 seems to have.
Yeah, and I can definitely tell that X3 Tactics is just putting goal after goal. As we see Runeski saying he's scared and needs an adult. I don't think there's any on the desk right now, to be completely honest. We're all quite childish. But yeah, X3 Tactics just going to take that Game 3 in spectacular fashion, honestly. Completely shifting the momentum in their favor. And we're going to have to see if they can keep up that momentum going into Game 4. Because while they might have the momentum, Dignipaws is still on match point, which is that's definitely going to be getting into the minds of X3 Tactics if they let it. We're just going to have to see if it does or if it doesn't.
I want to see in this next match, I want to see both teams really come out swinging this one, because I think whoever scores this first goal is going to be a huge factor in who ends up taking this series, because right now Dignipaws needs to get in that early goal to get X3 on their back foot. And the way that they're going to do that is by maybe cleaning up their rotations a bit, because they've been kind of getting in each other's way a little bit, maybe causing some awkwardness and some slower rotations, which is allowing X3 to get some really easy shots on net. So, I mean, they're just going to need to kind of regroup, reset their mental, and go into this next game with maybe a little bit of a refresh mindset. But X3 just looking so strong in that game.
Yeah, and they're just... It's still so very, very well played from Dignipaws in that last match, but it just feels like X3 just really found what they were looking for. I'm gonna have to say, if they can keep it as a bump comes out, but Yuki trying to leave that one for Nova Fox, but Nova Fox just not taking the shot, and that is an opportunity left by the wayside for Dignipaws. And that's definitely something that they're gonna want to try and fix as quick as possible. As Yuki trying to keep this one out, getting a touch over, but Korup going to be able to read that one very well. Now Nova Fox, another shot, Shy able to get that one out. We're seeing a lot of demos coming out from the side of Dignipaws. And that might be their tactic going forward, just putting on so much pressure via all the demos that they can, but it's not gonna work as Korup just drops on the ball. And X3 Tactics gonna get that first goal on this game 4.
I mean, as I said, the first goal is going to be very telling, and that's just unfortunate for Dignipaws. They're leaving opportunities on the table while also letting in some goals that, like previously in the season, they might not have. And I mean, this one's the momentum and the overall swing of things seem to be going back in X3 Tactics' favor. The momentum has shifted, and honestly, they feel to be the favorites right now. As we head into this next possession, Korup is going to need to make a save, but Nova is going to 50 him to the sidewall. Now we see Nova trying to get back, is going to get a really good clear, which is going to be in a little bit of an awkward spot for Shy, which is going to allow Sylvie to get the dunk. Shy going up in the air for this one. Nova is on low boost, but is able to clear to the side. Yuki grabs the back boost, but is unable to get another touch on the balls. Korup is going to play that high, allowing for Sylvie to clear that out. Yuki trying to establish pressure, and he's going to be able to bump Shy off of that, which is going to leave it left Nova with a free ball, but a little bit of a misread there. Now we see Korup trying to control that, is unable to get the touch he wants, but Yuki is going to get a good dunk into the opposing team's corner. Sylvie trying to play this to the side, trying to find time, and he's able to get that past Brian, but not able to keep possession. Yuki trying to get this in the middle of the field, maybe going for a shot, but is unable to get that in a threatening position, and X3 is going to clear that out. Sylvie clearing this to the side, not able to keep as much possession as he wanted to, trying to get it to Nova, but Nova doesn't have the boost to follow that up, which is going to let Korup go into the air. Korup trying to get a mechanical play going, unable to do so though. That's a good shot by Yuki, but Brian is back for the save. Nova clearing it into the corner, and we're seeing tons of back and forth from these two teams. Neither team seemed to have a clear advantage as we head into the final 2 minutes of this game.
Yeah, you said it. Just no clear advantage from either team. It really feels like it's just constantly back and forth in this game. As Yuki gonna get a demo on Shy, but isn't quite able to get the touch that they want. It goes a bit back, but Sylvie able to cover that very well. Getting a 50 on Shy. Nova trying to get that one home, just isn't quite able to. Now this one's gonna be popped off over to Korup. It's gonna be nearly a dunk on Rue, but a miss by both Korup and Nova, and a fake by Shy. Oh my goodness, that was just absolute chaos. I couldn't tell what was going on at all, but Shy knew exactly what was going on, faking not one, not two, but all three of the Dignipaws defense. What a shot that is.
I mean, top 5 shots of the week, everyone? That was
Maybe.
an insane shot. Well played from Shy to really identify that the entire defense was really low on boost on that one. But now we see Sylvie trying to get some pressure, is able to get it over Corrupt, but Brian has an excellent rotation, which is going to keep his team with the 2-goal lead. Now we see Shy trying to pinch it mid. Brian's going to try to follow that up, but Sylvie's just too quick as Corrupt takes possession. Yuki trying to get a stall play there, unable to do so, as we see Sylvie trying to play this high, is able to get it over Corrupt, but unable to keep possession. Yuki getting good pressure, a good dunk, but no one is home to follow that up. Nova playing it off a sidewall. That's going to be Sylvie's ball to lose, and unfortunately he does lose it for Dignipaws. They're going to need a goal quick if they want to stay in this match, as it's played to the side and X3 has more pressure. Sylvie going for the mechanical play. He needs this one, but that's a great save by Corrupt. Yuki is going to play that middle, but no one's home for that. And X3 once again putting pressure on. 30 seconds left. Dignipaws is going to need to get one
the
right now
pinch.
if they want to stay in this.
And that pinch nearly going in, that was just insane for the pressure from X3 Tactics. But this one going to be very, very dangerous for X3 Tactics. Yuki trying to get that Shy with the save, but Sylvie's going to be there for the follow-up. And with 11 seconds left, there is still a chance for Dignipaws to tie up this game and force an overtime. And we see Runesky in the chat. This is winnable. This is indeed winnable for Dignipaws. We're just going to have to see if they can do so. 11 seconds might be all they need. Nova turning off that ball. Yuki trying to get a touch and just, oh, it's so awkward from the side of Dignipaws. And that one's just, oh, that's so unfortunate.
I mean, yeah, that's just an unfortunate turn of events for Dignipaws. They seem to have a little bit of momentum there at the end, admittedly, and I mean, that just kind of got stifled by that little bit of an awkward rotations on the Dignipaws side after that kickoff. I mean, right now, it's X3. They're the #1 team in the league for a reason, and they are currently in a best-of-1 situation with Dignipaws. And I mean, this seems to just be X3's series to lose. Are they going to complete the reverse sweep after forcing it to the Game 5? Or are they going to fumble it? Because right now they just seem to have all the momentum, and Dignipaws just seems to be on the back foot, as Dignipaws has kind of done to themselves a few times this season. So are they able to regain here? We'll just need to wait and see.
We shall indeed have to see, but we saw that breath of life right at the end from Dignipaws. And while we are going into a Game 5 off of that X3 win, that one goal might be all that they needed to swing the momentum in their favor. But they're going to have to just try their best to just not let that get to them, not let this possible reverse sweep get to them. As we go into this Game 5, Dignipaws trying to do the impossible, not only take down the leaders of the league so far, but also stop a reverse sweep from occurring. All the pressure is on them. All the eyes are on Dignipaws. We shall see if this is able to happen, or if X3 is able to keep their dominance. So we see Yuki taking this one into the corner. Getting a bit of a bump. It's very awkward on the side of X3, but it's able to go out. That's insane that that one doesn't go in already. But Dignipaws putting on a lot of pressure. Nova Fox trying to get that one mid. Korup going to be there, but doesn't have any boost to follow it. Yuki going to try and get this one, and a miss from X3 Tactics. And Yuki is credited with the first goal for Dignipaws.
I mean, that's exactly what they needed to maybe reverse the momentum a bit and get themselves back into this series. And, I mean, it's great they got that first one, but they need to remember, there's still 4 minutes left in this game. It's still anybody's game, and X3, with how much firepower they have, can come back into this game in a blink of the eye. As we see Corrupt clearing it to corner, gets it past 2. Now it's Corrupt against
Watch out.
Yuki. Yuki
Oh, what a
gets the
save!
save! That's an insane save from Dignipaws. Their backline is so strong when they keep their rotations good, and that's an absolutely insane save from Dignipaws to keep their goal lead. Corrupt tries to get possession of the ball again, is unable to secure it though, is Shy on low boost, tries to inch this forward. Sylvie gets a huge clear out to get his team a little bit of a breath of fresh air as we see Nova play that down, but that's going to allow Brian to knife in and put that one home for X3. And I said it before, this team has a ton of firepower, and if you give them an inch, they will take a mile, as they just did.
So unfortunate. We saw Yuki there on the back line, just not quite expecting that touch from Nova Fox and not quite positioning well enough to save that incoming shot. And that's just going to allow X3 to, as you said, just take that mile, take that goal. And Dignipaws just find themselves back at square one, looking for a goal to try and take this game 5. As Nova Fox gonna put this one over Korup. It's very awkward on the side of the defense, and Yuki gonna slot that one bottom left. And Dignipaws once again taking the advantage. And with 3 minutes remaining, still could be anyone's game, but Dignipaws just has to keep that 1-goal lead. That's all they need to take this series.
I mean, Yuki typing in chat mid-game, quite the impressive display of multitasking on this one, as he's able to clear that one out. Nova is going to forward that, but now he's going to want to get another one on, as he's able to get the shot, but is unable to put that one on, and he's going to want that one back, because that was free if he was able to put it on. Now we see Sylvie establishing pressure, trying to get it middle, as Yuki knifes in and is able to put another one on the X3 Tactics net, and that's going to put them up by 2. 2:30 left in this game, and this is an absolutely huge turn of the momentum as we see them take the lead once again.
And Yuki scoring all 3 goals so far for Dignipaws, just putting the team on their back and just carrying them to this victory. But we'll have to see if X3 Tactics can stop that onslaught as we get a bump, and that one's just gonna roll right the way in. No, it's off the side. Nova isn't able to follow it, but that just pinches right in, and Yuki going to be credited with that one as well. What even happened here? Yuki didn't have a shot here, tries to get the flick, and Ruboy Brian just trying to save that one, doesn't expect the flick, and that one just gets slotted into the left side of the net. And Dignipaws now up by 3 with 2 minutes left. They are in a fantastic position, and X3 Tactics gonna have to see if they can swing the momentum back in their favor, or if the onslaught from Dignipaws is going to be too much for them to handle.
I mean, X3, they have the firepower for it, but maybe a little bit antsy there, as Brian is just a tiny bit overcommitted, and this X3 defense is crumbling this game. So many awkward rotations, so many times that they're just caught out of position, and that's going to put Dignipaws up by 4 in this game, with Yuki scoring 5 in this match alone. And I mean, when Yuki is clicking like this, it is a very hard task to shut him down, but they're going to need to if they want any chance of getting in this, as Brian is able to put that one home. And I mean, X3, 3 goals in a minute 43, it's not quite impossible. And they can definitely come back in this one if you give them many more opportunities like that. We'll need to see if they can climb their way back into this match.
We shall see, but that was an insane pinch. As you saw, Yuki calling the speed there, 152 kph. That is a massive pinch, and we're gonna have to see. Oh no! That was an open net, but Shy just not quite able to get that shot off, and just the double just going by the wayside, not quite falling into that post. And X3 Tactics definitely gonna want that one back, as that's going to shift the momentum right back in Dignipaws' favor, as Nova Fox not able to get the save. And I'm starting to see a little bit of shakiness from Dignipaws, because while they were up by 3 goals, and now only 2, And with a minute left, it is still possible for X3 Tactics to come back in this game.
I mean, Nova just a little bit awkward on his own back ball right there, back wall right there. Bit of an unfortunate turn of events, but now X3 is within 2 goals of forcing an overtime, and we'll need to see if they're able to keep up this momentum. Brian trying to force that mid, unable to do so though. Shy getting a good 50. Krupp has the shot, but that's right into Sylvie. Sylvie is going to be able to clear that out more often than not. Yuki taking control and trying to take it to wall, but that's going to be a good 50 by Brian, trying to put it in middle. Sylvie clearing it out though. 30 seconds left. They're going to need one fast if they want to stay in this, and that's a good clear from Dignipaws. They're buying themselves time. They're just trying to run out the clock desperately as they try to hold on to their lead. Shy trying to put that forward, dangerous. But that's going to be dangerous, and Brian just a little bit overcommitted there. Once again, X3 just slightly overcommitted, and it looks like that is all that is written for this game. Dignipaws up by 3 with 20 seconds left. I think this one's just about over, Aerolax.
I think it is too, and Dignipaws doing the impossible, coming in as the 9 seed and giving X3 Tactics their first loss of the entire league. It took 7 weeks, but finally they were able to be defeated. And Dignipaws most definitely going to be very happy with that win.
They definitely will be, and that's just a really good showing by Dignipaws. The 9 seed coming in and taking it to the 1 seed in the league, and that's just a huge showing by them. Any team can beat any other team in this league, and there is proof of it right there. Great showing by Dignipaws, an unfortunate turn of events for X3, just unable to close out the reverse sweep. And I mean, it's just unfortunate for them, but I mean, Dignipaws just playing so well that series, and no more will there be an undefeated team in this league. Every team has taken a loss now, and every team has the chance to really take it to every other team, which is amazing to see.
Indeed it is, but just, man, hats off to Dignipaws. That was so very well fought from both sides, and for them to come out on top is nothing short of incredible. But you also got to give credit to X3 Tactics, because they're top of the league for a reason, and even though they lost the series, they still proved that in this series. They were putting on so much pressure on Dignipaws, but just weren't quite able to eke out the win.
Yeah, it is not quite able to finish that one off, but Arrow, we still have another game to play this evening here. We're going to be going with OwOptic versus Twisted Tails, which is surely going to be a good match with maybe a little bit of a twist of events, but we'll need to see. Twisted Tails, OwOptic, going to be showing in here in just a minute, right after this break. We'll see you guys after that. Why, hello, welcome back, everyone, and Fate is handling some things behind the scenes, so it's going to be me and Airlax for a bit.
Hi.
Yeah, so, I mean, Arrow, we're just, are we going to be doing more, like, awkward stalling RFDL trivia questions, or are we going over the teams?
I mean, I I mean, I could. I do have trivia ready, but I feel like that should be a last resort.
Very fair, very fair. So, I mean, this next matchup, OwOptic and Twisted Tails, both very good teams. I think Twisted Tails is kind of having a resurgence after a bit of a slow start this season. They've been looking pretty good the past couple weeks, so they're looking pretty solid lately.
Yeah, and OwOptic also very recently having the addition of Gala on the team, and they've been doing very, very well as a team overall. And I'm very, very curious to see which way this goes, because I feel like, honestly, for either of these teams, they could win this, because we did also get confirmation that it is actually going to be Joshi playing on the team of Twisted Tail, so sadly no rule no run back. I'm a bit saddened by that, I will be honest, but you know.
I mean, Rule No last season was a terrifying team to go against, so I'm sure OwOptic is going to be relieved that they don't gotta face off against the Rule No run back. But regardless, I think, yeah, we that would be like really tough to go against, especially since you guys would already have Chem with each other. And I mean, well played Well played to Joshi and the Twisted Tales roster for getting their full team back together.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I'm honestly very, very excited to see just this match, because it's definitely a very interesting match, because there's quite a few sort of like storylines, I guess, kind of bouncing around in there. The one in particular that I want to mention is just that clash between Joshi and Daki, former teammates last season, now being put up against each other. That is a very, very interesting thing to kind of see, because not only are they going up against each other, but it's their own teams going up against each other. Joshi Boy being the manager of Twisted Tales, and Daki the manager of OwOptic Gaming. So it feels like even more personal of a clash than it already was.
It definitely does. And I mean, both Joshi and Daki carrying a lot of weight on that old Kitten Corp roster that ended up getting second last season. They both really were able to figure out each other's play styles and able to learn how to synergize with each other. However, maybe that might work out in their. We'll need to see who's able to like strategize against that better this series, because both teams kind of have unique information on each other based off of Daki and Joshi being able or having been previous teammates of each other. So, I mean, I guess I'm gonna be looking to maybe see Daki be able to kind of know how to be able to maybe make Joshi a bit awkward, maybe just kind of get him in situations that he might not quite be comfortable with and force the issue against that Twisted Tales team.
Hello? Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
Hi.
I'm back, guys. I'm back. Hey. Thanks.
Look at Fade's causing NA production again.
oh my god. I'm not surprised, honestly.
Are we ever surprised, though?
Yeah,
No,
NA production.
no.
You guys know how it is. Or so I was listening to what you guys said, and I definitely agree with both of you guys. I think that this is gonna be a great match. I think it's gonna be a close one. I think it's also going to have a lot to do with just recency on playing. I give OwOptic the what's the word I'm looking for? The advantage here, because they've been practicing since the last match started, and as far as I know, Joshi just has come into play like in the last 5 minutes, so they probably haven't had a lot of chance to actually play together in this situation, so we're gonna have to see how they do. But I definitely give OwOptic the advantage here. But let's go ahead and talk about the teams getting into this one, as they will all be joining the lobby soon and getting ready to play in their match. So let's start with OwOptic Gaming, as we have been talking about them a little bit today, and that is going to be Daki, T-Park, and Gala. They had to sub out T-Park last week, but this time the full roster is here, and not the best results last week, and I'm sure that they're going to want to bounce back from that.
I mean, they definitely will want to bounce back from that because, I mean, last week may not have gone the way they hoped, but at the same time, they didn't have a terrible performance by any means. Like, it was still, they still seem to have that synergy that they're well known for. And even if they were, ended up getting swept in 3, 2 of those games were only a 1-goal differential games, and they really felt like they could have gone either way.
Yeah, honestly, I've got to agree. Just it was such a close series, really, and I'm honestly hoping that that kind of carries over into this one as well, because I feel like with where these teams are right now, I feel like this could easily be a very, very close series, and I'm really, really hoping that it is.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. Obviously, both these teams have been very offensive heavy, I'd say. I think we've seen some better results from OwOptic, but as we've talked about multiple times, Twisted Tails is not a team to be underestimated as we start talking about them a little bit. That is going to be, as we said earlier, Joshi, Liska, and Baxis. We were about to see the Rex and Liska combo come on back, but Joshi did get back in time to play this match. Fortunately for them, I do think, having an SSL rather than a GC1 might be a little bit better for the team in terms of trying to fight this OwOptic squad. But we are going to have to see how the synergy does with Joshi getting back a little bit later than usual to try and play this one. What do you guys think about the team?
I mean, you said that, like, obviously there is definitely that skill gap between Sharky and Rex. However, you gotta think just that synergy between Liska and Rex on the side of Rule No, because I believe I was put on after midseason. I believe those two were playing together even before that. I don't recall entirely correctly, but possibly even for the entirety of last season. So they definitely have that synergy, and even though, like, just I don't know, man. I really want to see that run back. Like, seriously, I was so excited.
I mean, I'm sure there will be a point where we can get that arranged in maybe a show match or something. But I mean, this team has been looking better and better, and the player that I have seen playing better and better every week, getting more and more adapted to their rotations, is none other than Liska. So guys, I don't know about you, but I am all aboard the Liska train on this one, and I think I'm foreseeing a great result, particularly from Liska in this one. She's goated. What else can you say? I'm excited to see her play.
I mean, I've got to agree, Liska is indeed goated.
I agree. Liska is definitely top tier in the champ threes that have been playing in this league. However, I will mention one thing that I have noticed when it comes to Liska, and it's that recently they have been struggling in NA servers, and with this having a West player and EU players, this entire series is going to be taking place on NA East, and I think that is going to affect the play a little bit. Hopefully not too much, as we know Liska can hold their own on these servers, but I don't know. When it comes to the matchup, I gotta give it to Daki over Sharky here. Fire, what were our predictions for this match going into it?
So naturally, Daki was unable to pick for this series for obvious reasons, but you were the first one to choose, and you selected OwOptic in 4, while both me and Erlax chose Twisted Tails in 5. So it's definitely going to be a close matchup. It's just going to be a matter of who's able to get that one extra play, that one extra moment to put themselves on top of this series.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think that it's going to be a great match. I think that everybody is very eager to get in. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this one. It's time for our last match of the day, guys. It's time for OwOptic Gaming versus Twisted Tails. One of these guys is going to be able to come home with the win for this week, and the other team, unfortunately, gonna have to wait for next week. Let's see which team it is gonna be. Everybody's starting to join in as we get started on today. Come on, Liska. There you go. We got this going. And you finally get me on the desk here, or on the cast with Aerolax today. So you guys have to deal with a little bit of a cat and ram action as we start out.
Hey,
Baxis immediately getting a save off of the shot coming out from OwOptic, and all I can say is RFDL After Dark starts tonight, guys. 4:41 on the clock, and T-Park is going to get this huge clear out, leaving Docky with an open net, but can't get the angle on it, and Sharky going to be able to clear this one away. Now, I was saying earlier, we're going to have to take a watch on Sharky. We don't know how much Rocket League he's been able to play with his squad today, so we're expecting OwOptic to come out with a little bit more concise rotations, knowing what they want to do a little bit better than Twisted Tails. It might be a little more chaotic on their side, but it's working out so far. Liska getting a good touch. Docky missing his, and that's going to allow Twisted Tails to move forward, but Docky not able to get the touch, and a minute in, we've seen some really good chances go by the wayside for OwOptic.
And honestly, we've seen just 2 of that exact same situation from Docky, just being in front of the ball in an awkward position, just isn't quite able to get the redirect. That might be something that they want to work on going forward, but as for now, they have the game to win, and that is going to be in. Docky slotting in the first one for OwOptic Gaming. Sharky just not quite getting the right touch, and Docky just in the perfect position to pop that over the rest of Twisted Tails. First goal for OwOptic Gaming, and they're definitely going to be liking that.
And you saw that it was just a matter of time. They kept getting more and more chances. They just needed to hit that ball right into the center of the net, and they finally did so. Now OwOptic with the upper hand in this match. 3:30 on the clock. Left to go in this game number 1. Liska not able to get this touch, leaving Baxis in the back to get that save. We'll be able to clear it out, but Docky immediately in with more pressure for OwOptic. Sharky kind of rough on that rotation in the corner there, not sure what to do with the ball. Liska is going to have to take this one and clear it. Gets the corner boost, denying OwOptic from sieging too much longer. Now Sharky trying to find an opportunity, but it's going to be high. Liska's going to try and challenge to keep this in for Twisted Tails, but no one else is going to be able to move forward onto the play. Now Baxis going for the shot. It's over. T-Park, and Baxis gets the first for Twisted Tails.
That was an absolutely glorious shot as well, popping that one up and able to just be so fast up to that. And T-Park not having the boost to get up to that in time to cut that one off. Now Twisted Tails with 3 minutes left, tying up this first game. Possibly looking for a second one as Baxis once again up so quickly. T-Park passing this one down, and Docky gonna put that one under the defense. The full team play, Gala to T-Park, right into the midfield to Docky. A glorious play to take back that lead for OwOptic Gaming.
You can see Sharky a little bit out of position on that back wall there. Has to respect the shot coming in from Docky, so you have to jump for it. Unfortunately, Sharky decides to go low, and now Gala really ramping up the scoring for OwOptic Gaming. Off the kickoff, Sharky's touch a little bit too heavy and doesn't get the boost. T-Park actually gets a really nice pass down to Gala in rotation, and that's going to be a third one for OwOptic with about half the game remaining.
And we're seeing just all the team plays coming out from OwOptic, and that is favoring them so heavily. As Sharky getting a very crucial touch off that back wall, but OwOptic Gaming just using the full team to keep up that pressure, and it's putting Twisted Tails in such awkward positions that they're not able to really get out of, as Sharky getting a great save to get them out of that one though. Now Docky playing this one a bit slow in the midfield, passing it once again off to Gala, and that one's going to be off to the corner. Very, very quick from Sharky to turn that one around, but it's just going to get turned around once again by OwOptic Gaming, and a bit of a misflip that's going to force Liska to get a great touch into the corner, but T-Park going to be there once again, missing that touch, and that's going to allow Sharky to turn this one right the way around, getting the reset, but isn't in a favorable position to make anything out of that shot. Now Liska popping this one up off that sidewall, T-Park cutting it off. We're seeing just so much pressure from OwOptic
Oh,
Gaming,
no.
and they're not. Oh, as that one's just gonna be right off the post. OwOptic Gaming just not allowing Twisted Tails any space to set up plays, and it is working so very well in their favor.
That's a great pass from Baxis right there, but just no one from Twisted Tail roster able to go up and get that one. Docky trying to find an opportunity, but no one gonna be around for OwOptic. But they don't need to score a goal right now. They're just playing for time. A minute left in this game number 1. And Twisted Tail's gonna have to push here. Liska gonna be up in the air, beating Docky out. Sharky up fast, but misreads on the ball. Baxis trying once again to get another shot in. Would have been his second goal, but it was right to the defense. And Gala just wasting time. Maybe not the best move, though. Sharky gonna get this to a 1-goal game.
And with 40 seconds left, they can definitely come back in this game. And Twisted Tail's gonna be absolutely happy with that shot going in. But as we see, 40 seconds left. Favorable kickoff for OwOptic Gaming, but Sharky so quick up to that, cutting off Docky's shot. Now Liska trying to get a touch, isn't quite able to. The awkwardness from Twisted Tails might be plaguing them a bit too heavily in this match. Liska popping this one midfield. Baxis gonna try and pop it over. Doesn't get the bump on T-Park, but Sharky's gonna be there, try and turn this one around. Docky and Gala both up for this. Coming up on the last couple seconds. Sharky gonna take this one off his own back wall. Trying to get this one down. Docky cutting it off. T-Park getting a crucial save. Liska with the touch. Gala slamming that one away. And OwOptic Gaming is able to save that first game. But so much pressure coming out from Twisted Tails in those last few seconds. And I feel that that might be a sign of things to come.
Yeah, I have to agree there. I definitely noticed that in this, in that back half of that match, OwOptic was getting a lot of awkward touches on the ball where it would just go a little bit too far past them. If they keep that up, that's going to give a lot of opportunity over to Twisted Tails. But Twisted Tails also having some awkwardness of their own in this game number 1. And the best advice I could give for them is start cutting off those passes. You can see OwOptic going for a lot of passing plays in their rotations. And if you can cut those off midfield, that's going to give your team a lot more space to work with going into game number 2.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see who can take the momentum going to this game too, because while Twisted Tails does have that last goal advantage, OwOptic Gaming was able to just survive that onslaught on offense. And I feel that going into this game too, it's still just going to be dead even. And we might see, honestly, an overtime, which, if so, I'm definitely going to be happy about that.
Yeah,
oh,
for
we
sure.
lost fire. Sag.
I will be too, and I'm going to see what Twisted Tails can bring to this game number 2 as we go ahead and get into game number 2. OwOptic now up by 1. Going to be looking to take this one in a sweep. However, we're going to see Twisted Tails try to tie this series up as quick as possible. Nobody likes going up against triple match point. Now let's see who can make it there. Gala going to be trying for the flip reset. Not able to get their wheels on the ball there. Just going to get a soft touch. T-Park with the shot. And Bax is going to have that now. Sharky finding an opportunity. A little bit of an over-aggressive rotation from OwOptic. Leaves their net open for the slight second. But the defense will be back in time. And we just keep going back and forth to start this game off. Docky trying to read Baxis' touch, not able to do it. Gala pushed a little too far forward. Will still get the touch, but Sharky gets it straight down into the top corner. First goal for Twisted Tails.
And that is so very well played from them. Gala trying to keep that one safe, but Sharky so quick up to that. And popping that just above Gala, even though they were coming off that back wall. That is so well placed from Sharky, and that is exactly what they need to put themselves in a favorable position in this game too. However, T-Park trying to cut that off. Sharky has to get a crucial save. Getting a good flip off that back wall. Daki going to turn this one around. Baxis has to get a touch. Isn't able to. And Gala is going to be there for the rebound. And OwOptic Gaming has tied up this game.
And unfortunate for Baxis, just trying to read that. You're respecting the shot, so you go into the middle of the net a little bit high, just in case it's a shot that's kind of like Sharky's earlier. But it's just off the wall, over to a teammate, no one else back. And OwOptic going to be taking that one. Now T-Park looking for the double tap, not going to be able to find it, but Gala is in the perfect position to get that one. And we're seeing this quite a lot from OwOptic Gaming. They are using those rebounds just perfectly. And you can see the ghost touch there, showing exactly how close the defender was to touching that. But it was just a little bit off based off of the server. And that is going to allow OwOptic Gaming to go up quickly. Now a huge pinch from Liska. Is anybody going to be there on time? It's going to be Sharky, but the touch is wide.
Oh, no.
And they're going to get away with one for OwOptic Gaming.
And that is so unfortunate. You saw that Baxis was that little bit too close, and Liska was all the way in the backfield grabbing boost. And it's just so unfortunate that no one from Twisted Tails was able to capitalize on that, because that was a great... Oh my! That was a great opportunity from them, but then a fantastic opportunity from T-Park as well. Gala getting that 50 and then just so quick up to that, slamming that one home. And OwOptic Gaming taking the 2-goal lead on Twisted Tails in this game too.
I'm noticing quite a bit of misreads onto this ball coming out from Twisted Tails. Sharky almost had that touch. I think he just expected it to go a little bit farther forward than it did, and T-Park getting a really good dunk over the defenders to be able to get there. Now another shot opportunity was right there as Sharky accidentally almost passed that to T-Park. T-Park not expecting it though, will back off of the play, keeps the aggression going for OwOptic though. Gala with another shot, and OwOptic Gaming have woken up on the turns of offense 4-1.
Indeed they have. And something that I actually just realized is that Sharky is in his usual octane. No more Venom as we saw in the past 2 weeks, which is very interesting to see, honestly. And just, I don't know, just an observation, but
it is a meta that we saw a lot in the last couple of weeks, but we haven't seen it, I don't think, at all this week so far, so I'm wondering if the meta is finally dead. But about half the game remaining. Twisted Tails down by 3. And Bax is going to try to move this out of his half. Is going to be able to do so and actually have a bit of an open net. Able to get the touch on it, I think. Or it just bounced in. Either way, Baxis gets another one for Twisted Tails.
yeah, and that one did in fact just bounce right in off of that 50. What a bounce that was. That is so close to going out, but the post was favorable for that one as Twisted Tails, now only down by 2, and with 2 minutes left, still has a great chance of coming back in this one. But T-Park trying to put this one mid. Gala with the read, but isn't quite able to get the angle on that one. Now Sharky trying to make a play off of this. Takes it down under, gets a bump on Daki, making it very awkward for OwOptic Gaming, but Gala, the 50 through Liska, Baxis trying to be up for that. But it's all the way on the side of the Twisted Tails once again. Sharky trying to get a play off of this, but just gets completely destroyed on that bump. And that's going to allow OwOptic to turn this one around, but Baxis trying to get this one over. OwOptic Gaming just putting on so much pressure, and it's finally gonna crack the Twisted Tails defense as Liska just stuck in that with 0 boost. And Gala just putting that one just high enough so that Liska can't get up to that. 5-2 for OwOptic Gaming.
And one thing I really want to mention here is T-Park in particular is doing a really good job at shutting down Sharky anytime he sees him on the ball. In one of those plays right before that goal, you can see T-Park actually had the ball directly on top of him, like in the air, and he just jumps up just to get the touch on Joshi to take him away from the play. It's those sort of plays that are putting Twisted Tails at a very big disadvantage and are allowing OwOptic these opportunities. However, Twisted Tail still getting some opportunities. This should be a goal for Liska as they played that 50 perfectly to get that 5-3 to OwOptic Gaming so far, but still a minute left for Twisted Tails to come back.
Indeed, it is. 1 minute left. Only a goal every 33 seconds right now. As we're going to have Galen Baxis on the kickoff here. A pinch from Daki coming out, and Sharky going to try and turn this one around, but Liska getting demoed on that touch. And we're seeing OwOptic Gaming playing this one very, very slow, knowing that they are up by 2. They do not need another goal. They just need to keep their lead as much as possible. T-Park getting a favorable 50 here and just going to play this slow once again, trying for the 50 with Sharky. It's going to go high. And Liska with the shot, but it's going to be weak, and Daki is going to be able to be there. But we're seeing, once again, so much pressure. Liska, off the fake from Sharky, is able to just slot that one home. And 28 seconds left, still has plenty of opportunity for Twisted Tails to come back in this.
And you might have seen it in the chat earlier, but Sharky said this is the most disorganized lobby he's ever seen to be in. And with all of these whiffs, I have to agree with him, and this might go straight in. Liska will get the save, and that might be crucial, but Daki is there to get this one. And as for disorganized, all I can really say is these teams have been put in some very interesting positions today. Daki's team, along with Twisted Tails, were under the impression that they were going to be playing with or against Rex coming into this match. So with Sharky coming in last minute, that probably messes up rotations for both teams a lot coming into this match, and probably makes it feel a lot more chaotic than it should be. And as I said earlier, Yoshi might not have the a lot of playtime today, which means a little bit rusty in that in the start of that. But OwOptic Gaming is going to clean up that match or that game in particular, and will find themselves on match point.
Indeed we do. And Twisted Tails looking to be in a dangerous position, because now they're going to have to try and complete a reverse sweep if they want a chance in this series. But OwOptic Gaming just putting on so much pressure on Twisted Tails, and Twisted Tails trying to respond with their own pressure, but it just isn't quite going in their favor. And they're just going to have to try and figure out just what's going wrong and how they can just combat this OwOptic Gaming squad. Because they've been doing fairly well so far. They just need just that extra little push to get them over the edge to start winning these games.
And I think it was a really sloppy game from both teams, honestly. A lot of whiffs, a lot of misses, leading to some open nets. I think both teams need to clean up a little bit. I think it's just, you know, the unexpected situations they were both in, trying to adapt to one another on the fly. And it kind of just leads to a lot of these goals being given away. But I am seeing a lot of good from these as well. We're seeing Baxis and Liska really show up on, in this match as well, really trying to assist Sharky in keeping the team alive, and they've been doing a good job of that. So now if they can just take the momentum that they get off of this match and move it into game number 3, I think that there's a very good chance that they can continue on to maybe a game 4 or even a game 5. But OwOptic being on match point, that is going to be a scary sight.
Oh yeah, it is. And we're just gonna have to really see how Twisted Tails can deal with that pressure, just that added pressure of OwOptic Gaming being on triple match point. But we shall see as we go into game 3. Bit of 50s going into the favor of Twisted Tails. Sharky putting this one into the OwOptic Gaming corner. T-Park able to put this one around, but a 50 nearly going into the hands of one of the Twisted Tails members, but neither of them able to get the touch. Now Sharky passing mid to Liska, but Liska a bit too far away. allowing
Oh,
T-Park to
T-Park.
get a reset, and that one's just going to be off the post. And honestly, that update that adds the post ding could not come any sooner.
I gotta agree with you there. That was almost one of the most impressive goals we've seen from T-Park in the league thus far. And a really great save for Docky to follow that up. However, Baxis has been shooting really well today as he gets another one for Twisted Tails to take the lead in this game 3.
And just very, very well placed as well. Just right in the top of the net. Just making sure that there is no defender who can reach that. And only 45 seconds gone in this match. OwOptic Gaming nearly answering right back, but Liska gonna take this one downfield. Docky having to play this one slow. Gets the boost, very, very crucial, but getting bumped for that. Now Baxis trying to challenge that, making Sharky a little bit awkward. That's going to allow OwOptic Gaming to have a lot of pressure. Sharky very awkward off the ceiling. Docky with the shot, but it's going to go wide. Now Baxis trying to keep this one away from their net. T-Park not getting the touch. Sharky not getting one either. Liska putting this one high, but no one from Twisted Tails is going to follow that one up. Docky trying to make a play off of this, but isn't quite able to. And we're seeing a lot of back and forth from both sides, but neither of them really getting a ton of pressure, rather just a lot of play in the midfield. We're going to have to see if OwOptic Gaming can capitalize on one of their opportunities, or if Twisted Tails is just going to keep that 1-goal lead.
Now Sharky trying for the shot. It's going to be high, but Liska
Oh.
is there.
There it
That's going to
is.
be a second goal for Twisted Tails, and OwOptic Gaming just giving a little bit too much space to Sharky there. You can see low boost on Docky there. No boost, in fact. So that's going to be a lot of momentum gain for Twisted Tails, and OwOptic going to need to try to figure out how to counterattack this. Now Sharky going to get this middle boost off the kickoff, immediately up for this ball. Not the best first touch, though. Now, ball down to Gala. Baxis in the right spot to get the save there, and that's going to be crucial for Twisted Tails to keep this lead going. Now Gala, not the best touch. Is anyone going to be back? It will be T-Park, who gets a last-second save on the goal line. But the Twisted Tail offense continues. That's going to drop down, but it's going to be wide. And T-Park has to try and move this one forward, but no boost. Gala takes the ball away. It's going to be off the corner, and they're going to want that touch back.
That was so close on the shot from OwOptic Gaming, just ever so slightly off the post. And that is so unfortunate, but you can't really blame them for missing that, because from that shot, they just had to cut that around the defense, and I don't think there was an angle there. But Twisted Tails going to be thanking their lucky stars that that one does not drop in, as OwOptic Gaming setting up another attack. Sharky able to save this one over to the corner, but it's going to be awkward. Sharky with another crucial touch, keeping that one away from their own net. Now Sharky taking this one down the left side over to the OwOptic Gaming side. It's going to pop mid, but no one from Twisted Tails is there. And a massive pinch going to go up to T-Park, who's going to try for the redirect. Doesn't even need it. It's just too fast for the Twisted Tails defense to get there. And OwOptic Gaming is going to cut that goal lead in half.
And that's just an unfortunate 50 to come out there. No boost really on Baxis as he goes up for that touch. And that is going to allow OwOptic Gaming to get within striking distance of Twisted Tails here. And as we said before, OwOptic being on match point, that is going to be very scary for Twisted Tails. They do not want to end this one early. And Liska is trying to make sure that is not a possibility. Excellent read off of this pass. And T-Park, not the best touch coming out from him.
Honestly, not really, but still, Twisted Tails just very good at being able to be there and capitalize on that. With a minute 30 left on the clock, OwOptic Gaming still not out of it just yet.
Oh.
As I say that, a massive shot gets put on net, but Sharky able to save that one away. Liska gonna take this one into the corner, doesn't get the boost. Just gonna force Sharky to get a less favorable touch over to one of the OwOptic Gaming players. And Sharky with a massive clear. That's going to buy them so much time, as we see 1 minute remaining on that clock. Baxis gonna try and turn this one to put it into a dangerous spot for OwOptic Gaming. Liska doing the same, but it's just going to get a 50. A crucial touch from Sharky off that back wall and able to follow it as well. Just running out the clock. This Twisted Tails team just eager to take this game and use that momentum to force a game 5. We shall see if OwOptic Gaming is able to take that momentum away, as Gala gonna try, and that one's gonna be under. A perfectly placed shot from Daki, just under the car of Joshy Boy, and just that is a glorious shot.
And you have to respect the high shot coming out from the corner there, as that was a perfect one to try and put into the top spot. But Daki plays that so smart, going low instead. And once again, 20 seconds left. We're going to have to see if Twisted Tails can keep their momentum and win this game. Another save by Sharky. I'm assuming he's going to be playing defense for the next 10 seconds here. Gala does get the win. Sharky with the challenge. Beats Daki on that play, and that might be game number 3 as he puts it towards net. It's in the back, and Twisted Tails will take game number 3.
And that is really, really good on Joshy right there. He could have very easily just slotted that one right down onto the ground, but instead choosing to put it over the defender and into the net, just increasing that goal differential in favor of Twisted Tails by just that one, which is definitely going to be favorable going further into the league, because we're getting to the point where every goal is going to be crucial in your placements for just where you're going to be come mid-season, as currently Twisted Tails and Protogen Rebellion, not counting this game right here, Twisted Tails Protogen Rebellion tied in series record, only a 1 difference in game diff, which will then mean that that goal diff is going to be crucial for them. And just props to them for going for that extra goal, just keeping that momentum in their favor as well. We're going to have to see how that favors them going into this game 4.
Yeah, and as we said before game 3, the momentum's starting to ramp up for Twisted Tails. They seem to find their groove a little bit in this game 3. We're going to have to see if OwOptic can deal with that. Thinking some sort of adjustments will have to be made on their side if they don't want to go to a pivotal game 5. But Twisted Tails, looking very good. Liska has been showing up a lot in these goal replays, and I love to see it.
Yeah, I love to see it as well, because as I always say, Liska goated. But yeah, just the Twisted Tails, very, very good win in that last game. They're gonna have to try and just keep that momentum going forward. But OwOptic Gaming is obviously going to be very eager to take that momentum as fast as possible. As we see Liska popping this one up to Sharky, who isn't quite able to get the touch. And a massive bump coming on to T-Park there. Liska opting to take this one slow. Sharky able to get up to that one quick enough. Trying to get that one mid, but Liska challenging just that little bit too early, not expecting that extra touch. And that's going to allow OwOptic Gaming to get out of that situation scot-free. As they get a lot of pressure. That one nearly could have been an own goal, but Liska luckily positioned inside the net and able to get that one out, but it's still very awkward. Gala finally able to slot that one home out of just an absolute just chaotic moment on that Twisted Tails net.
And you can see Daki went up for that fake there. He saw everybody in a very awkward position on Twisted Tails. Gets the fake. Gala is in a perfect position right underneath to take the shot. And that is what OwOptic needed to do right there. That was a perfect momentum gain that they could get. Now they have to make sure to keep the momentum and not allow Twisted Tails to score. Of course, Twisted Tails is going to do everything they can to get this next goal, and we know that these guys are more than capable of doing so. Now Gala going to have to get that 50. It goes over to Daki, who has an open net to shoot at. Not going to be able to get the angle though. Gala over Sharky. It's going to be Liska in the back, but not a lot of boost as they move forward. Daki does get this challenge. My bad. I lost my words for a second. Liska up for this one. T-Park too far forward, and Liska gets the tying goal for Twisted Tails.
And that is a very, very good shot as well. Just able to just rotate her car to just pop that right over that last defender, and no one else back to save that. And Twisted Tails, just a amazing goal to get them back in this game with 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. It's still anyone's game as a massive pinch comes out from the side of Twisted Tails. Sharky trying to follow that one up quick. Baxis trying to take the shot but isn't quite able to. Liska gonna try for the shot but isn't quite able to. That's going to allow T-Park to try and pop this one over Sharky, who isn't able to get it. Trying to go for the Psycho, isn't able to get that either, but is able to get the follow-up. But OwOptic Gaming still having a lot of pressure on this Twisted Tails side. And Twisted Tails going to be trying their best to find some sort of breakaway, just something to get them out of their defensive half, and that might be it, a crucial touch. But it's just going to allow Daki to once again keep putting on the pressure. And OwOptic Gaming just currently unrelenting on this side of Twisted Tails.
Baxis getting bumped off of this play. Daki to follow through off the corner. Sharky's awkward, but still gets the touch out. A big bump on them, though, will leave the Twisted Tails net defenseless. Can Daki get the touch? No, he can't. Sharky almost own goals. And that's going to be Twisted Tails getting away with one. T-Park going to hit that one, but it hits Gala. And it's going to be pushed back to the midfield. Daki going to have to find another opportunity. A miss from Baxis. Tries to put it over Liska. Not going to be a strong enough touch. And Liska will get this out, but only 6 boosts. Takes the touch. T-Park will be able to go over to the corner. Now, midfield play approaching once again. Sharky will be beaten by Gala here. Liska has to get a touch and does so. Baxis to follow up. Pass. Going towards the net once again. Sharky is in the perfect place to get this touch. And tied up with 1:39 left. We're getting into golden goal opportunity for OwOptic Gaming. They want to get this before game 5. Don't allow any more momentum for Twisted Tails, but they are doing so well at protecting this net right now. You got to think Twisted Tails is looking for an upset here. Daki is going to be over T-Park. T-Park gets one more touch off of the defense, and we'll be able to move over to the side. But a big clear coming out from OwOptic is going to put them in peril. Gala will have to challenge this off the wall. Sharky gets the touch. T-Park to follow up, and Daki to clear. A minute left, Arrow. And it looks like Twisted Tails gets the goal. Liska scores the go-ahead goal with a minute remaining.
Liska goated. 1 minute left, and just slotting that one right into the back of the net. T-Park trying to be back for that, but just isn't quite able to. And Twisted Tails now looking to force a game 5. Just needs to keep this lead as much as possible, but a favorable shot, and that one's just going to be in! Gala off the kickoff is just able to just pop that one into the left of the net, and OwOptic Gaming in 5 seconds has taken back all the momentum that Twisted Tails had, just starting them from scratch. And that is just so unfortunate on the side of Twisted Tails, but they can't hang their heads just yet. They still have at least a minute of Rocket League left to play, as Liska gonna be up for that. Isn't quite able to get it. Gala gonna pop this one up. Now Daki trying to go for the shot. Sharky able to save that one very easily away. Now Baxis gonna try and take control of this. Gets a 50 with T-Park. Sharky gonna try and turn this one around. Gala up for that so quick. OwOptic Gaming not allowing Twisted Tails any space to breathe, as Daki gonna try and put this one up. Sharky gets a touch, but it's not gonna be there. And out of boost, T-Park is able to take advantage of that, and OwOptic Gaming, with 20 seconds left, has taken the lead.
And T-Park shooting that precisely when it matters most. 20 seconds left for OwOptic to take this series. Twisted Tails are going to be trying their best to get this one. Baxis has to go for a slow kickoff. Allows Sharky to get possession in a big clear downfield. Daki Awkward read, doesn't get it. Let's go with the shot. Let's go scores. 11 seconds left and we're tied again.
Twisted Tails just not giving up just yet. With 11 seconds left, Liska just popping that one right into the back of the net. And my goodness, we went from just barely any goals going in to just so many in these last just few moments, it feels. I'm
Docky.
gonna have to see if it's gonna happen. Docky gonna be up. T-Park there, but Sharky is gonna put it away as we hit 0 seconds. Is Gala gonna choose to drop this? He is. Liska gonna keep it up though. Sharky popping this one up. And it's very dangerous for OwOptic. Sharky keeping this one up as well. It's still gonna be there. Bax is trying for the shot, but Gala going to save this one away. And we have overtime in game 4. OwOptic Gaming trying to get that series win, whereas Twisted Tails trying to force that game 5.
Oh, that's
And
not a
just-
great touch. Oh, it's gonna
Oh
be
no,
Docky.
Docky's gonna be there!
Docky!
Docky gets it! And that is such... Oh my god, that's honestly hilarious that that ends like that. We saw Docky missing 2 of those shots in game 1 and finally able to get it in the most crucial moment. Docky just slotting that one home for OwOptic Gaming. Oh my goodness, just that must have been so stressful for them.
And GG's from the players come out as OwOptic will take that series in 4. Well played from Twisted Tails. They kept that one going and going. I was on the edge of my seat right there. They were doing such a good job of keeping it so close between both of these teams, but OwOptic will be able to get that final goal. And Docky, you got to be feeling pretty good after that one. You take the win over your old teammate in Twisted Tails. And he's saying in chat they were doing so good as well. And I can't wait to see Twisted Tails hit their full form because they are looking so good. And OwOptic is not a team that you can take lightly. So for Twisted Tails to take that all the way to that game and still have a chance to go to a game 5. My goodness, what an incredible series coming out from that.
Indeed it was, and just once again it's just so unfortunate that Twisted Tails wasn't able to get that, because especially that last game they were just putting on so much pressure, but it sadly was not able to be. But OwOptic Gaming playing that so very well, and just hats off to both teams. That was just so good.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, that was some excellent Rocket League that was played. My goodness, Let's Go was popping off. I think everybody was popping off to an extent. It was a little scrappy, I will say, in some of those in-between games. Game 2 in particular, very scrappy, but you gotta give it to OwOptic there. They recomposed after that game 3. They found the right shots, and I mean, I think it was a really good game from them. They're looking pretty strong as well. And for Gala, getting that win, especially off of last week, that's going to be a huge confident boost for them, which means I expect to see them playing even better coming this next week. But Arrow, anything else to say for the day?
I don't got anything else to say except GG's. Just some really good games today. My goodness.
Yeah, I gotta say so as well. And I just want to remind you guys that we have a lot more games coming up tomorrow. If we go ahead and look at the schedule, 3 of our matches have been done. Our next 3 will be on the way tomorrow. We're going to be starting off the day tomorrow with Fox Clan versus Claude9. Following that one up, it's going to be Lumimosity versus BDS, and ending the day with Persian 1 versus Protogen Rebellion. So a lot more chances at seeing some rosters move up and down that leaderboard once again. And I gotta ask, Arrow, what are you looking forward to coming into tomorrow? Not counting your own game. Can't say Lumimosity.
Well, now I can't say anything.
You don't look forward to FoxClan Cloud 9, our featured match of the week?
I mean, yeah, I gotta look forward to that because just having like it's the same as the last series that we just watched. Just two old teammates just clashing against each other in Fade and Taka, and I believe again both our managers as well. So it makes it that much more personal, and I'm very excited to see that one personally.
Yeah, and I am excited to see your guys' match versus BDS. I think that one's going to be a really close one, too. And, of course, can't forget the final match of the day, Protogen Rebellion versus Persian 1. We're going to see if Protogen can get their second win on the board or if Persian 1 is going to deny them that victory. And especially with Heavenly and Static playing on land buff, that one is going to be very exciting. But I don't really think there's too much left to say, guys. We are going to have the master sheet updated for the leaderboard here shortly. We just got to enter in scores as usual. And then once that's done, the leaderboard will be good to go. And we will have that ready for everybody tomorrow. But I don't really think there's any much more left to say, Arrow, unless you have some final thoughts on the series for the day.
I don't got nothing.
You don't got nothing? Well, neither do I. So with that being said, guys, we are going to let you go for now. Remember to check out RFDL After Dark later on tonight, starting around 10:30 EST as usual. Gonna have some fun games there. I'm gonna be playing mouse and keyboard more, which is gonna be really great. And we're gonna have Rystall in as well, which is gonna be fun. And then, of course, make sure to tune in tomorrow. And reminder for everybody, we're starting an hour late tomorrow. So come in tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST for the start of day 2 of week 7. Have a good night, everybody. And we will see you later.
See ya.